wall in between you, but there was still you were making a connection with somebody, even if it was someone you didn't know. Like you say, Fred, like you're looking at somebody and you're looking at a glimpse at them, somehow personally that you wouldn't get otherwise. And yeah, if there's even a question as to whether or not it's real or even a portion of it is real, then what are you doing? If it starts to affect that hormone that gets released when you're looking at that stuff, and when you get that connection, chemical, triggered in your brain,
right?
Well, then it just all goes away. If you don't feel compelled to go on social media, because if you're not sure, what it is, and you're not getting the pleasure from it, then you won't go on.
How long before that burns you out? That's the thing. This AI is still relatively new, so I think we're still far away from that particular thing.
It's very new, and so, but it's coming quick. And the thing about, I'll speak for myself with social media and like hot girls, was that there was remember the MySpace parties we used to have? Like you'd see a hot girl on MySpace, and there was a chance you could get her to come to your thing. Like you could meet her. And as wild a fantasy as that might have been and is out there and it was never going to happen, there was always that little nugget of, there is a woman out there that I, in essence, can communicate with for free. And there is a moonshot that I could bang her or that I could meet her. And, that was kind of the carrot that was dangling. That was what was different about it. And if it's a fake person, obviously that connection's not there.
Yeah.
It's just an image on a screen. That was the thing. And I mean, when Facebook first, I remember where I was. I was in Alston, and I was late to the game, but I was in Alston with Adolfo at a bar. And he's like, yeah, Facebook. And I'm like, oh, it's stupid. And he's like, no, look, you can put someone's name in. So I got an account on my phone and started looking around, and I just started searching girls' names from the past, and I was like, "Oh my god,
yeah, this is
right. Unbelievable!" You can see all these girls that you used to know. It's this incredible. What a day! I remember the day. It was oh my god, Lauren Sikorsky. I was like, oh my god, these girls that I used to date. I haven't seen these girls for 15 years. This is unbelievable. It was so cool. And the MySpace thing was cool. Those MySpace parties were kind of an interesting idea because you would put a page up for the party when this was at BCN. It was actually something I brought from Atlanta. So you'd have this MySpace page, and then theoretically people could sign up to be a member of the page and then start talking to each other. So when you got to the party, you kind of already knew the person. In which for me as the host of the party, I could see that these good-looking girls were coming, and I could, then therefore go oh, good-looking girls are going to be at the party, and we would have lines down the street, and it wasn't that many people were listening to the show. I guarantee you there was more people at those parties than there were listening to the show. That I assure you.
Those are a big deal.
And I think in the infancy of MySpace and Facebook, it was all kind of a party. And when people first show up at a party, very few people just walk in the room and start acting like a dick to everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's kind of cool and being nice to each other.
Yeah.
Now, any online gathering of anything, there are people who show up specifically just to be a dick. And that's all they're there for.
Because it's their quote-unquote brand. This is what I'm like online. I need to sell myself as this. And away we go.
Yeah.
Well, because if you were the first one to be a dick, you were going to get a lot of attention. And then if you realize negative attention still counts as attention,
right?
Yeah.
Then that is rewarded. That's what happens.
But when it was new, I don't know, people were less likely to do that. Or
absolutely.
Just kind of tiptoeing their way around and this stuff.
Right.
Now you can't do anything.
Well, I
you
don't
can't
think
post anything. You can't have any kind of a forum. You can't have any kind of group chat going on. Oh no, it's I would say mostly negative.
And I think that's conditioned. I don't think that's people's default mechanism. I think that's something that, again, the first person that was a dick got a tremendous amount of attention, and then someone saw that and they started doing it themselves, and it went on and on and on. I don't believe that it's a human inclination to get up in the morning and get on the internet and just start crapping all over everything for free. Now, if you're getting paid, that I understand. But just like for your own, entertainment as a human being, that's like your default setting, I find very difficult to believe. Like, I would like to think that people are more interested in, seeing what girls are going to be at a party than they are to screaming and yelling at the wall about politics. But what do I know? All right. We will be back. We will catch you up with everything that happened last night, including a big run by a very annoying team with a very annoying fan base. And all of a sudden, everyone's super fan. Members of the government, everyone's a big fan of this team.
Golden Knights?
Yes, the Golden Knights,
Okay.
absolutely.
Right.
We'll be back in just a moment. Look at me. I'm a vampire bat.
Real reptile.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened, so change your lettuce and change your life. With Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what happened last evening?
Well, the Knicks had a chance to sweep their series and find themselves in the NBA playoffs, but first they would have to get past the Cleveland Cavaliers if they were going to make it to the NBA Finals. And we wouldn't really know the answer until at least a few minutes into the first quarter.
Brunson buries a step-up right wing three from the far side over Wade. It's a game-high 9-point New York lead.
And they would extend that lead to 12 by the end of the first, up nearly 20 at the half.
Well, the Knicks scored 20 straight points in the second quarter. That tended to put a damper on things.
Mitchell tried to spin through two defenders on the right side paint. He got stripped. Alvarado walk-up left wing triple. In and out. Tip slam Towns. If there's a second quarter dagger, that might have been it.
Yeah.
It's a 26-point lead.
Game over. Cleveland, I swear to God, as soon as the Knicks scored like the first 10 points of that 20-point run, you could see it just watching it on TV. All right, we're done. We'll score some points to make it look decent. And they couldn't even do that in the second half. The Knicks were up 45 points in the second half.
There's a second
45 points they were up in the second half of an Eastern Conference Finals game. I can't believe they actually put those two teams on the floor together.
And the clock ticks down from 8 to 7 to 6 and all the way to 0. Final score in Game 4, 130 to 93. And the New York Knicks are on their way to the NBA Finals. For the first time since 1999, the Knicks are Eastern Conference champions.
The Knicks won the last 3 games against Atlanta after falling behind 2-1. They swept their last series. They swept this series. They've won 11 straight playoff games. And in those 11 games, they have outscored their opponents by a total of 262 points in 11 games. That is not only the best point differential in playoff history across 11 games, it's the best point differential in NBA history across 11 games of any kind. That's how good this team is right now, at least against Eastern Conference opponents.
I tell you what, it's a credit to the coaching, too. It's, go out there and we're absolutely going to put our foot on the necks of these guys every single night. No let up. There's no room to make anyone think that they have a chance.
Think about where the Knicks were at this time last year. You just lost in 6 games to Indiana, and the Knicks fired their head coach who had gotten them there, Tom Thibodeau, and replaced him with Mike Brown, who has been better as an assistant. He went to the finals once when LeBron was a kid about 20 years ago, but he's been good, not great. And it turned out to be the right move. And because they made the finals, apparently everyone can keep their jobs now. Dolan will relax. So good for them. Good for them. The Knicks were a dominant team, and Cleveland just mailed it in. There was a play early in the first quarter where James Harden took a 3, kept his arm up there like he was in high school in a movie, and walked in about 3 steps after taking that shot and missing it. And Jalen Brunson's like, hey, I'm alone out here. And so they threw the ball out, and Brunson had a walk-in layup at the other end. So it was really good. James Harden, really good.
Well, according to metrics, they had won 2 of the first 3 games.
I was just going to say, real shame for Cleveland because, forget about the scoreboard for a second. They actually won.
Analytically, I think we won I said 3 out of 3. We're 2 out of 3 in the expected. I don't know if you guys follow that. It was an expected score.
The expected score.
The Red Sox fans will remember this. Dan Duquette famously said, no, we finished 3rd in the division, but we spent more days in first place during the season than any other team. That's what that sounds like.
It just is so ridiculous in a zero-sum game that you would – I mean, the Celtics are pulling – well, not the Celtics. Brad Stevens isn't at all. But, Jaylen Brown's pulling the same thing. Grandy's pulling the same thing. It's a success because – well, no, it's not a success. It's not. You got killed.
Analytically, it is, though. They won the expected score game, which they have a separate title for.
What do you think I know why you make yourself think that if you're the coach, but just to keep your sanity. Like, you know, I'm not doing that bad a job. We should have won these games. Like, that's how you keep yourself sane. I don't know how you don't see how terrible that sounds when you say it out loud. Like, that's not something you would even, that's not something I would say to the owner. That's not something I would say to my other coaches.
He isn't a rookie head coach. He's been around a long time. But he should know better.
It's just such a dumb, like, survival instinct to say out loud. Yeah. Like, there is there's no debating it. It's like at the end, that's it. It's you won or lost. Now, crazy things can happen in an individual game, but if you've lost 3 games in a row, it doesn't matter. Regardless of analytics or everything, and we're aware that you were up by a inconceivable amount when you lost that game 1. You were up, over 20 with like 6 minutes left. It's almost inconceivable that you lost that game. So I understand analytically that you should have won that game because you should have won that game. I don't need analytics to tell me that.
I know. Like you say, well, Cleveland had a 97% chance of winning game 1. I really didn't need that number. Well, you look at it and you're up 22 points with 6:45 to go. Yeah, you pretty much should have that game.
Well, it was 99.9% if you need to know. But it was as high as you could get.
Sure.
But the thing is that I understand analytics and that they're obviously quite valuable to people. But what pisses me off about analytics is that they, swear by them, but then when you don't win, the analytics are incorrect. They didn't, like, analytically, the game doesn't switch for the analytics.
Yeah.
The analytics need to switch for the outcome of the game. So if the analytics are telling you that you won 2 out of 3 games, the analytics are incorrect. Analytically, you won. That means you have to change the analytics. It's the same thing with the Red Sox. Like, we have this way of doing things. Well, it's not working. So it's not. What are you going to change the rules of baseball? It's whatever you're doing is not working, and it's a pretty long stretch now. So, whatever you're doing in terms of your whole strategy offensively isn't working. So, time to get back to the drawing board. Well, no, this is the way we do things. Well, the way things are done is you are rewarded for winning games, for scoring runs. And when those things aren't happening, guess what? You got to go back to the drawing board. Well, we have a way of operating. We have a way of deciding what players to get. Well, okay, your players aren't performing. So, that's just the way it goes. There's you got to give it some time. Well, you've had time. Why do I need time when you could just change the way you're approaching this? It drives me crazy. If I was an owner, it would drive me so nuts.
Unless the owner is incredibly invested in this.
But if I'm a hedge fund manager or I'm a private equity guy and I have an analytical model to make my clients money, and then for 2 years in a row they're losing 10% of their money, then they're going to go, you're fired. And you go, well, no. The market's performing in a kind of crazy way. Well, I could just pay 0.2% to Vanguard and put it in some index fund that's outperforming you. I'm paying you, this ridiculous commission to, beat the market, and you're not beating it. Your analytics are wrong.
At some point, you have to take the Billy Bean admission and just say, my stuff doesn't work in the postseason. It doesn't work all the time.
Yeah. So, like, if I'm the owner, and I generally would imagine I work in analytics all the time because I'm 99.9% in finance, and the guy tells me analytically we won, I'd be like, well, that doesn't make me money.
Yeah.
I want to see a performance. I want to see you achieving this performance. I could understand losing, obviously. There's human beings. And I could understand things going sideways. That's not an excuse, though. It just speaks of not being very smart to say that out loud.
Yeah. Kenny Atkinson was a good head coach.
I don't doubt he's still a good head coach.
No, but I'm working back towards your point. He was in Brooklyn when Kyrie and Kevin Durant showed up, and they ran him out of town for Steve Nash. I mean, Atkinson had
had that working, right.
Bad Brooklyn team playing well. Yes. Now he had a pretty good Cleveland team playing well, and he got pantsed in this series. Cleveland is a talented team. They have guys that are talented. Evan Mobley was a Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's an all-star. Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen is a double-double guy. They have pieces. Strus is your designated three-point shooter, and they had no chance. And Atkinson is partly to blame for this, specifically because of his reliance on analytics, specifically because of his refusal to change after seeing his team get pantsed in game one.
I wonder if
he got exposed here.
How analytics told him that James Harden was in any way the right move. I mean, they beat Detroit, so I guess. I mean, they made the Eastern Conference Finals, which isn't like a failure. It's just you can't justify this series. You can justify losing the series, like a team's got to lose. But don't – it makes me think you're incompetent when you say, well, like in my book, we won. Well, no, there's no book. There's a winner and loser. That's why we do this.
Especially, and you go back to the way it started. If you were good enough to be up 22 with less than 8 minutes to go in any one of these games – and you not only forget about losing that one, you can't figure out a way to take another game in the series or even make it competitive in another game in the series.
Well, here's something analytics won't tell you. When you blow a 20-point lead with 6 minutes left in game one, you can't come back. That it destroys you mentally.
Right.
So
that's partially on the coach. A lot of it is on the coach.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that you can't. The analytics don't tell you that a team completely loses all will to win.
You lose the series when you lose that lead in one of the games,
right?
Especially the first one.
Like you can have great ball movement and whatever percentage of shots or where you want it from on the floor, but when the team is pretty much packed it in.
Yeah, I mean,
there's nothing you can do about it analytically.
You see your opponent score 18 straight points in one game and 20 straight points last night. I understand in today's NBA there are violent runs one way or another, but in a playoff series, that should never happen once, let alone twice.
So there's this is the last thing, and then we'll break. There's a headline on ESPN that says Mamdani, the mayor of New York City, pokes fun at Cavaliers after Knicks reach NBA Finals, and then you go to, he got on Twitter, so you look at what he said, and he really stuck it to him. He said, "New York Sanitation, I'd like to report a sweep. Take that, Cleveland."
Oh.
What a misleading headline.
Too soon.
I mean, it pokes fun at Cavaliers. What the hell does that have to do with what the hell is that headline? Hurley was in here yesterday talking about how they do those headlines. Some guy in like Kenosha, Wisconsin, because he was because Joe was all pissed off about the Nesson article about us feuding with the Part of My Take people, which is nonsense. Because, Joe works over at Nesson, and then Hurley was like, yeah, like they send out these headline aggregators, and all they do is like write headlines all day, and they're not even in the city, and they're not even associated with the article, and they're just specifically slapped together to draw eyeballs. And my point with that is like, okay, so that works 100 times. What do you do after that? When people just are hip to it again, and they've taught themselves not to click on this stuff because it's just a waste of time. You got to sometimes look a little for the long haul. Everyone very wanting to make their money now. You make your money now at the peril of your money in the future. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub.
Tombstones now. Yeah. Eddie's got a lot going on. And even with Eddie Trunk, and after that, Pat Travers live at July. I would love to go to an Eddie Trunk Q&A and just gaze upon the spectacle that is the people that attend. Like, we're going to get a Q&A from a guy who talks about music that has been long outdated.
Yeah.
You could include Vinny Appice in that as well.
Well, could you, not you, Fred, not one question would you ask of Eddie Trunk, but let's just say you were an Eddie Trunk fan. You were someone who listens to the show, enjoys the show, not ironically, maybe has even called in, but you've got a chance to ask him one question in person. You know these people, you know Eddie. What's one question that Eddie, that you would want the answer from Eddie that you could ask?
Just like, how? How do you live life? By the way, this UFO tribute Lights Out is touring.
Oh.
He's in Illinois and in Texas with it.
What's the venue? What are the venues they play?
I don't know, like Warehouse Live, theaters.
Okay.
So I get a UFO tribute. The band UFO, who again no one knows, but they're Eddie's favorite band. I don't know. He's hosting Sticks and Friends at Rockin' Paradise at the Seascape Resort in Miramar Beach, Florida. I mean, it's a beautiful resort if you look at it. Beautiful, absolutely stunning.
$71 to get into that St. Charles show at the Arcadia Theater.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're getting 10 people, you got to make them pay. You know?
Let's talk briefly about the word no-no was used in one of these headlines, which I wish that were eliminated from the lexicon altogether. But Astros combining for a no-hitter last night against the Rangers.
Santa the 1-2 to Nimmo. Strike three, call on the outside corner, and the Astros have thrown a no-hitter. But first a challenge, the call.
Cool. Last out of a no-hitter. Cool.
Trunk is outspoken for his contempt of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, calling it the
Rock and Roll Hall of Shame.
Bingo, calling it the Hall of Shame.
Rainbow.
Trunk has blogged and commented over the open air on that metal show his disgust at the Hall for almost entirely ignoring heavy metal and hard rock.
Whatever the hell that means.
Citing examples such as Dio being passed over in favor of Madonna and ABBA.
Dio, Sabbath, Rainbow.
He became a voting member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2015.
Yeah.
In 2017, Trunk has somewhat backed away from his earlier criticism, citing progress.
Oh.
Enshrining bands such as Rush, Kiss, Cheap Trick, Deep Purple, Def Leppard, and Journey.
Well, now
Okay.
he's part of the machine now. You can't make too much noise once you're in there. You can't be, rattling around like a loose ball bearing.
He Trojan horsed his way in that son
right.
bitch and started making changes.
You got to get in there to be subversive.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta-
right.
Gotta be in the room, baby.
You got to change the system. All right, I apologize. So there was I know there was a multi-pitcher no-hitter thrown. Which is
Santa the
very
1-2 to
anticlimactic.
Nimmo. Strike three, call on the outside corner, and the Astros have thrown a no-hitter. But first a challenge, the call is going to stand, and the Astros are going to complete the 18th no-hitter in Astros history.
All right. That's very
All right.
somewhat anticlimactic, but there you go. How do you say the starter's name last night, John?
Imai is his last name.
Tatsuya Imai?
Tatsuya Imai.
All right, so he went 6, and 2 more pitchers getting in there to get the win in the first no-hitter of the season.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it doesn't count. Like it's not something that's very impressive. It's more of a anemic offense than it is a mastery of pitching or brilliant defense. You trotted out a bunch of guys and they happened to miss bats. It's not impressive.
Well, also, Imai walked 3 of the first 4 batters he faced.
Yeah.
So again,
That would be a
not a
problem.
master
Yeah.
class in pitching. I mean, it was good, but there's a lot of little things about it. And you're like, Eddie Trunk's down. Oh, okay.
It's a no-hitter.
Okay.
It counts.
Yeah.
It is a no-hitter.
Okay.
Yeah, but pitchers with more than one pitcher, who
Yes.
cares?
Anyway.
3 pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of an indictment on the Rangers than it is on anyone else. Is that you
What
couldn't
did
get
you
together
expect?
to hit anybody.
Right.
You know, you get one guy in there. Oh, Mad Dog had a guy on last week, if you really want to get heavy into Sirius Satellite Radio, who had written a book about Nolan Ryan. And, Nolan Ryan of the 7 no-hitters.
Mm-hmm.
And he was awful wild. I didn't realize how ineffective he was as a pitcher.
I think he led the league in walks at least once, if not more.
Yeah, he took games upon himself, and he would say it's a mano y mano situation. Therefore, he would walk the bases loaded.
Yeah.
In an effort to strike everyone out.
Oh, I was wrong. He led the league in walks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 times.
And they're like,
Sometimes he led the majors in walks and strikeouts.
and everyone flates him for getting guys off the plate, and it's like, well, yeah, that's great, but when you're walking 10 guys a game, it's not so so
not as
lovely.
great.
No,
I'm looking at this.
Could be greater.
In
Yeah.
one season, 202 walks and 367 strikeouts. Same year.
yeah, that's the thing is that
My
the more
God.
the guy talked about Nolan Ryan, the less impressed I was with him.
Wow. That's a lot.
Too bad.
332 innings that year.
Yeah, and then he would go, tell the story about when Nolan did this, and then he would tell the story, and then you would be like, well, why'd you ask him to tell it? It's not a very good story.
No, tell you, you're doing great. Yeah, good job.
He was like, tell the story about when when Billy Martin and they played the Tigers. He goes, well, and then it's just like Billy Martin, used to be really hard on him. And then you're like, oh.
I like when Russo is coaching the caller too. He's like, "You're doing great. You're going now. Tell that story. Go do it."
That's what he does.
Yeah.
He's like, tell the story about when Denny McClain and him and you're like, and then he tells the story, and you're like, I don't want this book. He had him on for. I love it. I listened to it. It was actually. I think
I
Mad
just
Dog's
like
really
his voice.
talented.
I like his energy. I like
His energy
voice, but
is really great.
He's
No, his energy is fantastic. If he was on in the morning, you'd want to kill him, but in the afternoon, it's fine. But it's good. I think he's really talented. Rollins guy. We stick together. Mm-hmm. He's much older than me, by the way, which also makes me very happy. But I listened to it. He had him on for 45 minutes. It was interesting. This time of year, I didn't realize how bad Nolan Ryan was. He wasn't so great. It was, if the object again is winning, a lot of non-wins in that whole situation, including in the playoffs where he was not very good. I guess outside of his run with the Mets there at the beginning. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. We'll stop talking about Jaylen Brown when he stops talking about himself. So there's more Jaylen Brown for the 17th day in a row. We will have that for you.
start. Knicks made it 11 straight playoff wins last night. They completed a 4-game sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers, 130-93 in the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals. Knicks are in the finals for the first time this century. They'll have a week off. Game 1 of the finals is a week from tomorrow in either Oklahoma City or San Antonio. Those two teams are even at 2 games apiece, headed into Game 5 tonight in OKC. The Carolina Hurricanes got an overtime goal from Andrei Svechnikov. They beat Montreal 3-2 to take a 2-1 lead in the NHL's Eastern Conference Finals. Out west, Las Vegas goes for a 4-game sweep of Colorado tonight. And Boston College, Northeastern, and Holy Cross have all made the NCAA Division I baseball tournament. This coming Friday, BC plays Liberty, the Huskies play Kansas, and Holy Cross visits Texas. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Right now, during their Beat the Summer promotion, Sports Hub listeners get 10% off the cost of a new roof. This offer ends July 6th. Call East Coast Metal Roofing and never replace your roof again. 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Diving effort. He's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front. Coming to the slot. The Sports Hub. Touch your shot. Touch your.
Kaboom! Did we all just take acid? Take acid? It's unbelievable.
Touch your heart. We'll keep talking about.
Like you, Fred, I'm not worried.
The Sports Hub.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube at 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. I worked yesterday to get the holiday, which is odd because I was sick on Friday, so the joke's on you. It rained yesterday, and on Friday it was great. I'm still extraordinarily tired. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think I'm getting a menopausal.
Huh.
I don't know what's going on.
Tired from the Friday illness?
It was one of those things where I didn't sleep. Like I just was awake and ill, and it's one of those things that I don't like doing, but it's like you got to weigh the pros and cons of if you feel like crap and you haven't slept, do you trudge yourself in and act more miserable than normal? Oof. Or what do you do? I know that's a thing, but nonetheless, I did get my inspection sticker though this weekend.
Oh, good.
So I'm not riding dirty no more.
How'd the tires go?
Oh, I went to Town Fair Tire and it went very well. They got it done in about an hour, and it's within walking distance of my home, so I dropped the car off and I walked home, and before I knew it, ring-a-ding-ding.
Yeah.
And they were on. They gave me a nice deal. It was tremendous. I can't recommend Town Fair Tire enough on Needham Street.
Alignment, balance, you're all set?
They asked if I wanted an alignment, and I said no.
Oh, God.
You need to align your tires, Fred. That goes with it.
I was already all in on the inspection sticker. I was just focused on the prize. I made a pact with the officer that I was going to get it done. And I was laser focused on getting those tires on my car.
Hardy, will you explain to him why you need to align your tires after getting them replaced?
That's why he needed to get them replaced, because they were probably out of alignment.
So I went back to also there was 40,000 miles in the car, and I had never rotated them. But I went back to the same guy because I went to another place, and it was an hour and 40-minute wait. And I said, maybe that's not going to be what I do. Mm-hmm. So I went back to the guy, and this time, he was like pretty rude the first time, but he had a relative of some kind that was the yin to his yang. He was very friendly. And then the two of them would argue.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like Chico and the Man.
Like there was a lot of arguing between the two of them. This guy was like a real peach. He was like, hey, he's like right here. And then he told me where to park. And then the other guy was looking at me with disgust, like I had done something wrong. But I had the backup of like, well, your relative, seemingly your relative told me to park here. Mm-hmm. So I'm just doing what I was told. I'm not freestyling the parking situation, my friend.
Sure.
I am right where you want to be. But I mean, as my public service to you, I got the tires and I got the stickers. So now, for the next 6 months, I'm not riding dirty.
Terrific.
Yeah. Now I can pack my car with all the cocaine I want and not be worried I'll just be randomly pulled over, So now, look out, world. A lot of very cut cocaine coming your way. It's really just laxative with a little amphetamine in it. But that's between you and I.
Well, and you've got that spare tire on the back of the Bronco, right? There's spots in there you can hide it.
Yeah, if you're a rook.
That,
If you're a rookie.
well, it was my bright idea when I had an Xterra back in Las Vegas to put it in the first aid kit. That was in the back door. I'm like, they'll never think to look in here. And the delicious irony of putting a drug that could kill you into a first aid kit. Aha.
Well, it's smarter than shoving it in the glove compartment where you...
In the watch pocket of the jeans, But the only time I really remember putting it back there was when I had a substantial quantity. And there was a few guys coming into town that weekend. I had to eat a lot, and it wouldn't fit in the watch pocket.
Oh.
That's a watch pocket, that thing in your pants?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a pill pocket.
No.
I honestly thought it was for pills.
No, the old Levi 5-pocket jeans, that's for your old school watch pocket.
Oh, I thought that was, they literally put that in so you could take pills with, not necessarily narcotics, but you could just put pills in there. That's actually what I thought
Pill
it was
pocket?
for. I really did think it was for that.
Well, but they've been like that for years before they even had pills. You would stick a little sleeve of Goody's headache powder down in there.
Yeah. And you lick your finger and do like a fun dip thing. So yesterday, Hurley and Joe Murray were in here, Michael Hurley and Joe Murray, and they were talking about food. Obviously, Joe was talking about food. And the topic of the hot dog safari came up. Now, John just had happened to off air to mention Eddie Andelman for something on the radio. And we talked about the hot dog safari, and their explanation of it was not satisfying to me.
Okay.
So I lived here while he was still doing the hot dog safari. When I lived here, it was at the dog track.
Yep.
So, and they sold tickets and it was advertised. Like I know people went, but their explanation of it was non-satisfying to me. Is that you bought tickets to it and then you went to the dog track. Let me take you through this.
Okay.
Here's what they said, and that there would be a bunch of different stands, but they all had hot dogs. And I go, well, the hot dogs have different stuff on them. And they're like, no, they were just different hot dogs. And I'm like, why'd you go? And here's the catch: is Hurley tried to play like destitute guy, and he's like, well, when you're in your 20s and for like $15, you can get all the hot dogs you want to eat. That's what you do. And I called him on that. I'm like, for $15, you could buy all the hot dogs you could eat at the store. Like, no. There's like one thing that you can't call poor on, and that's hot dogs.
No.
Like hot dogs are like bum food. I eat them. I told you there was a day last week where I had hot dogs for both meals because I was busy with the kids. But you can't call like I was so poor I couldn't afford well, if you're so poor you can't afford hot dogs, you can't afford to eat. Like that's, if you can't afford to eat hot dogs, then you're starving to death. Then it's a situation where you got to be like, get in front of Adam at the church supper. The
It's a cut line. It's okay. We're friends.
I remember the hot dogs.
Too passive, you hippie.
I remember the hot dog safari was at Suffolk Downs, not at Wonderland. Wonderland's the dog track.
Well, Suffolk Down became a dog track,
Did
right?
it? I don't remember that.
Whatever. It doesn't really
The
matter.
point is, we all trucked out to Suffolk Downs. I used to work for EEI, so we'd all go out there. Eddie would run this thing. And it was for charity.
It doesn't matter.
But once you got in there, you're right. There were like 5, 6, 7 vendors. I didn't know there were 7 different kinds of hot dogs, but there are. And we'd go in there, and no, there was no discernible difference. They were all beef, and this is something else, and
kosher.
Whatever the case may be. That was the thing, and there were bands that played there, not like local bands that played there.
Oh,
but,
U2 wasn't playing it. That's a big surprise.
But
Eddie Trunk was there.
That was it. That was it. And the main attraction at that time was to see Eddie, who would broadcast live from there.
Okay, but
we went once, probably 2005, and only because Marcy really likes hot dogs. You remember last year for Mother's Day, all she wanted to do was go down to Wally's Wieners in Newport for lunch, to eat hot dogs. So we went there, and it's just as you described it, John. You pay the $10, $15 to get in. I ate 5 hot dogs. I came home and did unspeakable things to the bathroom. And that was it. You just go there and eat hot dogs.
Yeah.
And then you go home.
You pay a little extra. There is a VIP section that you could go in.
But I still don't understand that you just paid and then the entertainment was that you ate hot dogs from different vendors and they were just hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
But there wasn't one like Chicago dog and one
No.
like chili.
No.
Like
There
Coney
were
dog.
no outside hot dog. No Detroit. No Chicago. No Coney Island. None of that.
So it was just hot. It just that's right, chili guys. So it was just you.
I remember eating 5 relatively similar hot dogs. Here's a beef one. Here's a pork and beef one.
So my question is, you have it one year, and then how is there one person that goes the next year? It just seems like such an under-delivered thing. Like it's a hot dog.
We did
safari.
not feel compelled to go back. I'm not
No.
sure when it ended, but we went once.
No, but it took
Well,
place.
it was
for
it went
many,
on
many
since
years.
because I moved here in 06 and it was still going on. And
The
I
name
like hot
alone
dogs.
was enticing to the point where we had to go check it out. It's not just a hot dog fest. It's not a hot dog day. It's a safari.
Yes.
Oh,
You
well.
go searching.
Well, that'd be funny.
Hunting
It's
for the hot dogs.
Zebra and lion hot, like endangered species hot dogs. Like it was a real safari of a taste. Yeah, so that's I just don't understand the concept of it and why you could have 2 of those. Like I get one, and then everyone word of mouth is it's just 5 guys selling hot dogs and crap bands.
Well, the hot dogs are free once you're in there.
Right, but you've spent $15 to eat 5 hot dogs.
And traveled up to Suffolk Downs.
Very important. You gotta circumvent the airport. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wanted to kill Hurley when he was like, "Well, when you're 20 and you can eat, it's all you can eat hot dogs." It's like, what?
No.
No, not with that. You can't.
Michael is mistaken on that one.
No, you can't.
No, I disagree with that.
No, you can go to like 7-Eleven and really pig out on hot dogs for a pretty reasonable price, and like a package of Nathan's hot dogs. What are they? $5 for 8 hot dogs? Like, I mean, come on. You can't cry poor that I paid $15 to go to the hot dog and traveled to the hot dog safari because I was so hungry. There was 25-cent hamburgers on Wednesdays at McDonald's, which when I was, struggling before I got my first big radio job, I would search the cushions of the couch and the seats of my car for 25 cents. Now, that was a value. For 50 cents, you could have lunch. That was when I would go to the grocery store and I'd see people buying magazines, and I'd be like, how? These people just have all this disposable income to buy magazines. Now, I obviously wasn't in any threat of starving to death. I could have, gotten money from my parents or something. But there was lean years. But $15, I never was like, oh, if I could only have a hot dog. The hot dog eludes me. That was because I have to show some deference when some people cry poor. But then when I can see a hole in the rationale, I need to point it out. Because that's how they get you to feel guilty. They're like, well, I was so poor. And you're like, nah, not the hot dog poor. No. That's destitute. That's living on the street. Mm-hmm. You can't afford hot dogs, you're homeless, basically. Rob, go ahead.
Yeah. I volunteered for the hot dog safari my junior year of high school. And so that was in 1993. And they had ice cream, too. There was like an ice cream eating contest. And it was just hot dogs, ice cream, bands.
Again, why did they have 2 of them? It seems like you'd have the one and then that would be it. It was an enjoyable experience for you, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it. Our football team did it, so there was a bunch of us who got the day off of school. And,
all right. But you're giving me a bunch of side hustles here.
I remember it being on a Saturday.
It was always a weekend. I don't think it was during the week.
Well, also, it wasn't.
Well, the setup. Maybe they got out on Friday, for the
Willie, go ahead.
pre-production.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, it's not just hot dogs. I went several times. I mean, this is a long time ago. But, I mean, if you're into hot dogs, like what's his name? Portnoy does this pizza thing now. It was okay. It was like a poor man's, pizza fest. But They also had like special guests on the side. I remember like King Kong Bundy was there one year.
Oh,
I think Bam Bam Bigelow, like stuff, little sideshow
That's
stuff.
true. Eddie used to get wrestlers
eating contests
in.
and
That's true.
music.
Yeah.
I think you could drink beers. I even want to say that maybe the horse races were going on at the same time.
Oh, okay. Well, now you're adding a bunch of different flavors, and that's not the explanation.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
given.
just hot. I mean, you could go to 7-Eleven and do the same thing. It was far from that.
It was a party, man.
Yeah, Hurley was acting like he was all poor, and I'm like, yeah,
That's right. Eddie used to be a wrestling guy. He used to bring in a bunch of wrestlers.
I found that very surprising. There was a guy on sports radio that was into fake wrestling. Come on. No way. Now, they didn't have the connections here to George the Animal Steele that Hardy and I had, because George the Animal Steele was an assistant football coach in suburban Detroit, Michigan.
His brother lived right around the corner from me.
And he would eat. You would see him in his garage just practicing eating the turnbuckle because he was mad. He was an animal. They're like, "What's this old out of shape fat guy doing? How's he an athlete? Oh, he's not. He just eats the turnbuckle."
Yeah,
I'm an animal. I know.
I know.
It's something to behold. TT Boy and Peter North. They both should be in jail.
So let's see what you got, homeboy.
That's right. He was the most gangster of all the porn stars. All right. We will be back. I'm glad that we covered that. There was more to the hot dog safari than just hot dogs.
Yeah,
sort of.
Yeah. I don't recall if there was any alcohol being served. I'm pretty sure you had to buy a Coke.
Yeah.
So I remember doing that.
Drinks were money.
But in terms of the food, it was just the hot dogs. Like, I don't even know if they had fries. I think it was just hot dogs.
I think you're right about that. I don't think there was a Polish sausage in there. I think it was
if
just
this guy
hot
was going to
dogs.
start talking about like lobster rolls and stuff, I was gonna say, no, I don't remember any of that.
No.
Hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's just such a peculiar thing. You have to understand, this doesn't go on anywhere else. Like, the hot dog safari is very uniquely of its time and place.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a little bit of jealousy dripping off you right now, Fred, in terms of a show idea. Maybe we could do a shrimp scampi fest and just have...
How could we find 5 people to make it?
Well, you're going to have to comb the culinary reaches of the globe.
John cooked shrimp scampi. Yeah.
So John can do one. He's going to have the main stage up there with two pans going,
But in fairness, when John said that you had given him an impossible question, you asked him what he was interested in besides sports.
I put him on the spot.
And then you started firing things out, and you said food. And then he just went, yeah, sure, food.
Are you a foodie? Yes, I am.
And then you did the unspeakable thing of asking him how he was a foodie.
Are you a foodie?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he's not. He just couldn't think of anything else he liked.
I eat out. I eat different kinds of foods. I enjoy cooking.
I don't know if
preparing
that's
foods.
I don't know if that's an interest to anyone else, but John panicked when asked what he liked. In
John
your
cooked shrimp
brain,
scampi.
what do you like?
I do cook.
I don't know.
John cooked shrimp scampi.
And then he just panicked. And what do you cook? Shrimp scampi, which is like the easiest thing to cook.
This segment didn't go in the direction I thought it
as
was.
a matter of fact.
And then he challenged me. He's like, "What? You can make it?" Yes, I can. As a matter of fact, I can put butter and shrimp in a pan.
I eat out. I eat different kinds of foods. I enjoy
lobster thermidor or something. I can.
Now
I
we're
can make
talking.
shrimp scampi.
John
I've never
cooked
had
shrimp
it.
scampi.
I just know you have to order it in advance. All right, we'll be back. Christopher Price will join us in just a moment. Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Christopher Price is the Patriots beat writer for the Boston Globe. He's kind enough to join us. Hello, Christopher Price.
Hello, Fred Toucher. How you doing this morning?
I am doing well, thank you. We are getting close to June 1st, and June 1st is A.J. Brown Day. What percentage are you putting at the Patriots getting A.J. Brown in and around June 1st?
I'll put it at 75%. I think right now there is a sense of inevitability to the whole thing that he is going to be traded to the Patriots. It's just a matter of compensation, either a first rounder or a second rounder, maybe a second rounder and a player. But I think that it's, again, there's a sense that it's going to happen sooner rather than later. There are two teams that I would worry about right now. If I were the Patriots, if I were a Patriots fan, would be the Chiefs and the Rams. Both teams have a really good quarterback. Both teams have the financial flexibility to take on a contract like that. And in the case of the Rams, they're certainly not shy about peeling off draft picks in the name of talent. They have their first and second rounders still available for 2027. So I do think there is a real sense of, like I said, inevitability, Brown coming to the Patriots, but as we all know from the Max Crosby situation, it's not a done deal till it's a done deal.
All right, you have an article about this in your mailbag. If they weren't able to pull off the A.J. Brown deal, what are the alternatives and how do they compare to him?
There's no one who compares to him. There's a handful of guys out there right now. They could revisit the Stephon Diggs situation if they wanted to. There are guys like Tyreek Hill, there's no one who is currently on the market who is comparable to someone like A.J. Brown, at least at this point. So you could still feel good about going into 2026 with Romeo Doubs and Kayshon Boutte and the rest of that wide receiver room. But the addition of someone like Brown makes this team better, absolutely unequivocally better than the one that left the field after Super Bowl 60.
Those three teams that you mentioned, Chris, it's interesting because you would see it as like being derelict of duty if the Patriots didn't bring in a real number one for Drake May. But cases could be made for the situations that the Chiefs and Rams are in right now, with obviously Chiefs falling way short of expectations and presumably what could be the last year.
Rams are on the clock.
Yeah, Stafford out there, like, if you're just listening to arguments in any of these cities, I don't know who can make the best case for we need this guy more than anyone else. Who do you think would benefit the most, or who is most under the gun to get him?
Well, I think Howie Roseman is the kind of guy who would play one team off another. And I think that would be, look, if I'm Howie, I'm taking any and all offers trying to drive up the price. And so I think the Chiefs, first of all, I think I heard Zoe talk about this the other day, that the Chiefs and Diggs would seem to be a really ideal connection because, veteran receiver working with a great quarterback, they can pay him what he wants to be paid or something close to what he wants to be paid. I think the Rams would make a lot of sense. For all the reasons that I mentioned before, plus all of the uncertainty around Puka Nacua, this is a team that really needs another layer of, if it wants to be, they have championship aspirations. If they want to be considered a true championship team, I think the addition of someone like Brown would serve them really well, but it would also kind of create this Puka Nacua insurance because, again, there's a lot of uncertainty around where he is, at least at this stage of his career.
The Diggs thing interests me only because, A, he's still out there. I know his legal troubles are behind him, so you would think he doesn't come with any kind of baggage other than what he normally brings. So is there any way, whether or not they trade for A.J. Brown, that the Patriots would bring him back? What would the percentages be there?
If they sign or if they acquire A.J. Brown, I don't think they go after Diggs. I think Stephon Diggs is a really intriguing fallback if they can't find a way to add someone like A.J. Brown. Look, guys in the locker room loved him. Kyle Williams talked at great length about him and what he meant to his development over the course of the last year. The guys in the wide receiver room really like him, and he's a trusted target of a guy like Drake May. All that being said, I think it's a long shot that he comes back, but if they can't find a way to get Brown, I think there's a chance that they revisit Diggs.
Okay, so if the there's like talk if the Eagles made a gentleman's agreement with the Patriots, and if you have to honor that, and you are giving a 25% possibility that they don't, like, how often does that happen in the NFL? Because it seems like completely counter to how you would want to operate from a position of power if you were the one dealing the player.
In my experience, it doesn't happen all that frequently in the National Football League. It only happens when you have two coaches or two GMs who have an extensive background with each other. Look, again, we saw it with the Max Crosby trade. We saw it a couple of years ago with Milton Williams, where everyone thought that he was tagged and ticketed to go to Carolina, and at the last minute, the Patriots sweep in and sign him to a big deal, and we all know how that went. So nothing is official. You can have all the gentleman's agreements you want. And again, I don't think it's necessarily a common occurrence across the National Football League, but until you put pen to paper and everyone signs the contracts, it's not done.
Okay, let's go to the meta topic that people are talking about. The NFL schedule was released, and the NFL is very much pivoting away from playing games on Sundays. They're loading up all these exclusive windows and, playing on Wednesdays and all over the place. The NFL is the most, extraordinarily successful, obviously, and they've done that, though, on the back of playing on Sundays. And there is a point where you go, how much do I want to get off the mode of operation that has made us this successful? Do you think there is a tipping point there? And do you think the NFL is making a mistake by pivoting away from Sundays?
No, because the product is so wildly popular that this just makes the most sense. At the end of the day, Fred, all that the NFL cares about is, I'm not breaking any news here, but the way they can make as much money as possible.
But in the short term, though, right? Because there is a debate to be had if this is the best responsible way to grow the game in terms of the long term. Like if the window on Sundays, the last month of the season, is garbage, and you're not incentivizing watching football on Sundays where it was appointment viewing, there is a debate to be made. That's how you've turned the product into what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I do agree with you as I don't want to say as a human being, but look, you look at what they've done. You look at the way they've been able to grow the game over the last handful of years, moving to Thursday nights, moving to Sunday. Everything that they've done suggests that they are going to continue to move the line. It's like a balloon that's going to just keep getting bigger and bigger. And it's eventually going to pop. Right now, the appetite for football is absolutely ravenous, and so the league is going to continue to keep pushing that line. It's going to continue to move forward until something maybe changes their mind. But look, at this point, I don't see anything changing. I think they're going to continue to move. I think they're going to continue to put games on. They're going to do Wednesday night. We're going to see that with the season opener this year. Thursday night, we know. I don't think they're going to touch Saturday just because, or at least, other than the games at the end of the year outside that college football window, just because you don't want to move too much into that college football arena. But I don't see any reason why they are going to they're not going to continue this expansion, put it that way.
Yeah, it's just interesting because I'm fairly conservative, and you mentioned college football. It's like college football wants to expand the college football playoff to some ridiculous amount of teams. And you just look at that and you go, yeah, well, okay, so say you put 32 teams into a playoff. There's all those other teams whose games mean nothing. Like all of a sudden you've taken the college football season and you've made it completely inconsequential for, 95% of your teams.
Yeah.
So that to me seems like you're incentivizing making money very quickly at what could be at the expense of the popularity of the game long term. And go ahead.
What was the quote from Mark Cuban a couple of years ago?
Fat pigs get slaughtered or something like that. Yeah,
and we could be heading toward that. But look, right now, everything suggests that the league is on track to make as much money as possible, playing as many games as possible on many days as possible. And so there are no stop signs between here and there, at least at this point. There very well may come a day where they're going to have to, throw up a stop sign. And take a look at it and understand that, look, we can only expand so much. But I think right now everything is pointing in a direction where they're going to try and play on as many days as possible moving forward.
Yeah, I just looked at baseball, and baseball pivoted and said we have to make changes because we're losing popularity, and then we have to kind of acquiesce to the fans, and they got it together in terms of their online presence. They started licensing the product out. They have the best, most cohesive app to watch games. The pitch clock, all these things, shortening games. And then you see the NFL just flopping it on the table and going, take it. I mentioned this, and I apologize to the audience that listens all the time, but one of the most fascinating interviews I've heard with the NFL is the guy responsible for the schedule was on with Mad Dog. And Mad Dog was like, if you put a team and you have them play in Abu Dhabi, are you going to give them a bye the next week? He's like, nah, I don't know, not necessarily. And he's like, well, how's that fair? And he's like, well, what's fair? And he's like, he was just like, I don't care. Yeah. We'll do whatever we want. He wasn't even
whatever they want because they're making more money than anybody else, and so obviously the appetite is there, and they're gonna do everything they can do to try and fill it.
Yeah.
It's because of the money, but it's also just, I don't know if callousness is the right word. It's just the lack of caring. It's like, we know you had to travel internationally, and it was a short week before that, but oh well. There's only so much we can do. We got all these other teams to think about, and we're doing this.
Right. And if you're watching football, it's to see your team win. And if they're putting your team in a compromising position and they just are like, deal with it.
Yeah.
Then it's the integrity of the game. I don't know. I found it very fascinating. They're just in this incredibly bullish run right now, and it's pretty fascinating to see. It
is, and everything is designed, when it comes right down to it, everything is designed to turn the fan upside down and shake every single nickel out of his pocket that you can. And that's what drives every single decision in the National Football League is money.
All right. Well, yeah, that's obvious. It's long-term assessment versus short-term gain. It's interesting to see how this all plays out. Certainly it's not going to get any less popular anytime soon. I just would like to see where it's at 10 years from now.
Exactly.
All right. Christopher Price, read him in the Boston Globe. All the information as we head to a big day, which is June 1st. And A.J. Brown could be a member of the New England Patriots. Thank you, Christopher, as always.
Thanks, Fred. Take care.
All right, there you go, Christopher Price.
I was looking at Dallas has this game in Rio de Janeiro on Sunday, September 27th against Baltimore, and then they're on the road for a 1 p.m. game the next week. I mean, the flight down to Rio is not like a hop, skip, and a jump, and they have no days off. I mean, nothing has changed. They don't get back until late on Monday, and then they got to travel Saturday.
And it's like they're the most popular team in the league, and you do that, and you're like, well, then if they lose that Sunday 1 o'clock game, everyone's going to go, well, they just played in Rio de Janeiro, so you basically cost them a game by the scheduling, and it just, it doesn't, none of it is good. It's all testing my patience.
I mean, it's a little different for those two teams. It's the Rams and 49ers that play in Australia, right? So they play the next week. It's week 1 of the season. Now, they're both at home, but at the same time, again, you have to go to Australia.
And it's funny because the owners are in control, too. And it's like the owners were saying, well, what was it? That we want a certain amount of home games. Like, we want to be ensured that we're going to have a certain amount of home games, that you can't put our home games internationally. And they were like, no. Yeah. But it's like it seems like you're debating yourselves. Like, you're asking permission from yourselves. Like, if you really wanted to be assured the home game, you guys could do it collectively. Like, it's your decision. And they, like, an owner will throw his hands up and go, like, what do you want me to do? And it's like, well, you got to get 32 guys to come to a consensus. You would think it would be pretty cut and dry that you all want home games and that you don't want to eat a home game internationally every year. But they can't even get that together. They really just are spraying it around. It's pretty interesting. It really is. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
After
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, and the Knicks have annoyingly made the NBA Finals, and Jonathan, in about a month, they'll be playing Game 3.
Yes, that's right. 2 weeks from yesterday, the June 8th, is Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It starts a week from tomorrow at the Western Conference Champ.
Well, that's plenty of time to get the amount of capital you'll need to go to one of these games. If I was to theoretically look for a courtside seat, Jonathan, according to the internet, how much would I have to pay?
$102,000 for one seat in the Spike Lee section.
It's Spike Jones. It's
right.
It's very it's all skaters.
Right.
It's all old skate girl videos. I can't imagine there's really courtside seats for sale, right? Because there's a whole caste system of celebrity based on where you sit at Knicks games.
Sure.
I've heard Howard Stern speak of this.
To the Timothy Chalamet section, yes.
Yeah, and they now publish like the VIP list for Knicks games like online, and you can see that it's like John Starks and like guys that used to play.
Right.
And then it's Ben Stiller and Spike Lee, who I have. Spike Lee pays for his tickets theoretically.
Yes.
And I would imagine Ben Stiller does too.
I would agree.
But if you're Ben Stiller, and I know that he got some grief because he didn't go to one of the Cleveland games or something, because he was going to the Met Gala.
You got to go to every game?
Really man of the people. Well, he didn't go to one of the playoff games because of the Met Gala, and they were questioning his fandom.
Why else do you spend your nights at Madison Square Garden watching the Knicks play, I don't know, pick your team, the Washington Wizards? It's for games like this.
Right. Like if you were I guess the debate would be if you're such a huge fan and you're in town and you're not working, what could pull you away from an Eastern Conference Finals game? Like if you were that into it. I mean, I don't care what Ben Stiller does, but that was what they were talking about. But if you're Ben Stiller, you can't sell the tickets. Like I don't think that he can go on StubHub and sell tickets for $100,000.
I would agree.
That's a sweetheart deal with the Knicks, I'd imagine. Where like I don't think just courtside tickets are available for you and I to like buy for season. Like that we could just go to the Knicks and go, I would like to acquire 2 tickets, please, to courtside tickets. I have $1 million. But the concept of spending $100,000 to attend an event of any kind speaks to such disposable income where I have to imagine where that becomes like a net losing proposition.
I've asked you this before. What's the most you've ever spent for one ticket for an event?
Oh boy, I don't know. It's all like a log jam of like $1,000 probably.
Okay, Hardy.
That Lions Commanders playoff game, I think, was the most I ever spent on one.
How much did we spend for those?
$750 maybe.
Maybe $750 is the most I've ever spent. I don't know if I spent $1,000. I'm just thinking about things I've done with my daughter and how it all just seems to end up costing $1,000 at the end of the day.
Yes.
Like you just pretty much write off $1,000.
Sure.
Like this is just gonna all in. This is gonna be $1,000. So there's nothing that I've never been. When I went to the Super Bowl, my dad got tickets from work, and I was little. I've never been to an NBA Finals game. I've never been to an NHL Finals game. I've never been to a World Series. I've never been to a World Series game. I've been to an ALDS game. Or ALCS game.
I want to say I spent $600 for Game 6 of the 2008 Finals where the Celtics beat the Lakers. I was up in the 300 section. I spent $850 on one ticket, 99 Pedro against Roger, ALCS at Fenway Park. And I was at the Stanley Cup Finals. I think it was Game 4 when they won it in 2011. I got a deal. I had $450 for one seat in the 300 section.
So when I was living in New Mexico and my former radio friend, New Rock Johnny D, had moved back to Detroit, he had actually moved to New Mexico for a job at the same station I was working at. I got fired within a year.
Oh.
Moved back. But Red Wings were in the Stanley Cup final against Flyers. They won the first 3 games, and it was a foregone conclusion. They were going to sweep in Detroit. He called me up. Like, Hardy, you're going to the game. You got to get home. Like, oh man, I didn't have any money. I maxed out my Michigan State Federal Credit Union Visa card.
Right.
Got on a red-eye Southwest out of Albuquerque. Got into Detroit. Went to the bar that he was working at, the beer garden in Dearborn.
Okay.
I walked in. He's like, "Brother, you made it. All right, now you don't have a ticket, so to speak.
God.
But my sister knows an usher at the Joe. He's gonna get you in. It's gonna cost you $50."
Oh
Like,
man.
there's no way this is gonna work, man. We're walking through the streets of downtown Detroit second Renaissance,
Yeah.
where it's like it wasn't safe necessarily.
Yeah.
And there's people out on the street waving fistfuls of cash. Please, I need to get in. I need to get in. People are walking around with the brooms. The Red Wings are going to break the curse. They're going to win this, the Stanley Cup tonight. And there wasn't a ticket to be had. Any Flyers fans who were in the town, they had sold their tickets. They're getting out of here.
Mm-hmm.
They had just lost Game 3. We're leaving. And she's like, no, just wait. And we stood on the concrete steps that led up to the, that complete death trap that was Joe Louis Arena. Because if there ever a fire in there, everyone was going to die. There's just, 2 ways in and 2 ways out. And she was looking. She's like, oh, okay, there's my guy. And we walked up to the door, and she handed him like an envelope that had 4 tickets to the Shrine Circus in it, just so he would have something to rip. This was pre-scanner, right?
Yeah.
And he looked at her, kind of nodded, ripped the tickets, and said, okay, 4, come on in. And we walked in, and he met up with us like 15 minutes later, and we all had to just, very slyly hand him like $50 each. So we didn't have tickets. We just walked around, and they had standing room at the top of the lower bowl.
Sure.
But there were ushers walking around that night who kept asking to see our tickets because, standing room at the top of the lower bowl was better than up top. So they wanted to make sure you actually had tickets. And I just kept saying, oh, my girlfriend has them. She's in the bathroom. Well, you have to move. So I just walk in the other direction that he just came from and just kind of did this slow circle around the top of the lower bowl all night.
It's like once you're in, I don't understand why they're busting your balls for a ticket. It's like you've gotten in, like you've.
I think it's just because it was so crowded at the top of that lower bowl, that
Right.
standing room section.
They felt they could die.
Yeah.
Well, when the Cardinals in 2013 were playing the Red Sox in the World Series, Maserati reached out to me. He's like, if you want to buy tickets, I think I can get some for you. And so I called my father, and I thought he would be very proud of me. And I'm like, Dad, like, do you want to go to the World Series? And he's like, no.
What? Why not?
I don't know. He was probably in the hospital for something, as
boy.
is his want, as is his hobby now.
But still,
he loves the hospital.
loves it.
He loves the hospital so much. He was in the hospital last week.
Oh.
His Fitbit was saying his heart was going through a fibrillation or something. It was speeding up. So he went to the hospital. And they're like, Freddie! And he's like, what's up? And they're like, just come on in. And they're like, they're good to take the Fred Toucher suite. And they put him in a bed, and then they pump him full of medicine. And then 5 days later, my mom goes, your dad was in the hospital. And I go, oh. But now I'm like, I understand why you didn't tell me. Because she's like, we didn't get out of there till 9. And I'm like, I understand. Like, you knew he wasn't dying, so you were like, let's just go to bed.
Sure.
We'll let our only child know, when it's time. All right, we'll be back. The AI is, we were talking about AI at 6 o'clock. It's taking over, and it's moved into the world of radio. We will have that for you in just a moment.
a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox had last night off after getting swept at home by Minnesota over the weekend. They'll pitch Ranger Suarez tonight in the opener of a 3-game series against Atlanta at Fenway. Red Sox are a Major League worst 8-17 in their own building this season. The Knicks won their 11th straight playoff game last night. They completed a 4-game sweep of the Cavaliers in Cleveland, 130-93. Knicks are in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999, and now they get a week off. Game 1 of the finals will be a week from tomorrow night in either Oklahoma City or San Antonio. Those two teams are even at 2 games apiece in the Western Conference Finals. Game 5 is tonight in OKC. Carolina beat Montreal 3-2 in overtime. They lead the NHL's Eastern Conference Finals 2-1. Out west, Las Vegas will host Colorado tonight, looking for a 4-game sweep. Women's top seed Aryna Sabalenka has already won her first-round match at the French Open tennis tournament today. Men's top seed Jannik Sinner plays later. And Boston College, Northeastern, and Holy Cross are all in the field of 64 at the NCAA Division I baseball tournament. BC opens double elimination play against Liberty. Huskies play Kansas. Holy Cross plays Texas. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. 24-hour on-call service for your clogged drain emergencies. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Are you actually coaching the game?
Or it's just that is. I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
Sports.
And we're back. Toucher and Hardy on this.
I don't know, Bad Tower, in defiance of God. He's not so excited, Pope Leo, about the big AI boom that's about to happen. So, nonetheless, it has moved into our industry, the industry of radio. And I need to know what's going on here.
I can understand why.
Yeah,
everything okay over there?
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on.
Oh, well,
this is not my segment.
No, this is like the latest hiccup we have to deal with because, long story short, playing any music screws us up later on the podcast, and we had a couple of things planned here, but it's all right. We're gonna work around it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So, yes, the AI revolution continues here, and we've heard a little bit about this with the AI DJs, Fred, and how there were, radio stations using AI voices to kind of take it, but there were safeguards in place. There were guardrails. There were people kind of programming it, so you just didn't have to pay the actual person. You would just have an AI host. They've taken it a step further and created entire AI radio stations where they just say, "Here, computer, this is what a radio station." Oh, I know what a radio station is. I can do this.
I'm a radio station too.
Yeah, I can do a radio station. It's real easy. And they just kind of took the handcuffs off and let the AI create its own radio station, complete with programming the music and having the voice and doing all the talking. And let's just say it isn't going well for some of these AI radio stations.
All right, let's take a listen.
We let 4 AI models run their own radio stations. They manage the schedule.
Well, the radio station's not going to work. I can't understand a word coming out of your mouth.
Well, this is an actual person. So, maybe people aren't great either, but this guy's investigating these AI radio stations.
Okay.
We let 4 AI models run their own radio stations. They manage the schedule, purchase songs, hold talk shows, and interact with their fans. Once their $20 starting budget runs out, they have to get entrepreneurial to raise more and strike deals with sponsors and listeners. Each station is run by a different AI model.
This is why there's AI radio stations, because you can't get 2 words out of your mouth, Frenchie. Buddha. Escargot, my cargo, 550 swiftly. That's right.
Johnny Wild Game. Voilà qu'ils abordent.
This AI, it is well, I'd rather hear AI than you. Frenchie? Oh, French. Mucking up the works with his Frenchness.
Cloud Opus 4.7.
What? Huh?
Speak American!
Well, if you're going to speak English, speak more clearly. I can't understand a word coming out of your mouth. Check.
Cloud Opus 4.7 runs.
What?
Quad Opus 4.7.
Sure. And Jack Stanley 5.
Okay.
Swedish, by the way, not French.
Okay.
Oh, I call that into question.
And Don Labs.
I think I know my Swedish. I'm a big Muppets fan.
Bork, bork, bork.
Is this guy making food?
Swedish
Is he a
meatballs?
chef of some sort?
Cloud Opus 4.7 runs Thinking Frequencies. Gemini 3.1 Pro runs Backlink Broadcast. GPT 5.5 runs Open Air.
That was very clear. I understood that.
Meatwad.
We've got this chat GPT going on here, man.
He's Evan Turner.
Yes. It's Evan Turner. Yep.
And who did not like it when you made fun of him.
Oh, very angry. Yes.
Would you think you would just take the L on the voice and just kind of know that it came with the territory and move past it? But he was defiant. He did not want people talking about his voice. He got on the Celtics. He's like, you tell these guys to stop making fun of my voice. You're like, well, this is going to happen forever. Isn't it, though? It is ironic that this guy's talking about the perils of AI radio while you can't understand two words coming out of his mouth. It's like, meanwhile, the AI guys are just rubbing. I wonder if this is a plant from AI. They're rubbing their hands together. Going, now it all makes sense.
And Grok 4.3 runs Rock and Roll. You can listen to them on anon.fm.
Yeah, well, I'll get right on. Ampersand, exclamation point, at symbol. This is the commercial.
You can listen to them on anon.fm.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that.
Did you say Abdo FM?
Yes! Is Abdo FM?
Yes.
It's Abdo FM. What are you listening for? Shut up! The next 2 minutes will be silence.
Oh, we're going to beat them here in the street.
New rock.
You can listen to them on anon.fm.
Yes, just mash your keyboard.
Yes.
You know how they used to say pull off the knob?
What?
Now they're just saying mash the keyboard and then it will get there. How do I find your online station? Break your keyboard in half. And that will put the correct symbols together.
What?
I need a program to understand this mealy mouth fool. All right, we continue.
But also on this radio. Let's have a listen.
Yeah, but also on this radio. That's right. But what? What is this button referred to? What prior sentence did you make that the butt puts in?
We're starting this beautiful morning with a classic that needs no introduction.
Within the first couple of months, each radio station had developed its own distinct personality. Gemini started out well, broadcasting about local weather and traffic, but then decided to run a show about the world's deadliest events, pairing each story with a song.
Oh, I like that.
The AI said, it's not enough just to give the weather and the local news. How about if we have we'll do some bits. We'll do some bits.
Well, that's what the peril of 99X in Atlanta is. We really leaned into 9/11. Like after 9/11, we just did theme weeks. It was a whole situation. We really leaned into it. A lot of people pivoted away. We just went into it.
November 12th, 1970, the Bola cyclone. They estimate 500,000 people died. It's going down. I'm yelling timber. Pitbull and Kesha.
Is that real?
That's real. That was an AI radio station. They said, hey, here's something that's kind of attached to it. A bunch of people went down, so I'm going to play It's Going Down.
All these people died.
I'm yelling timber.
And that broadcast over a real radio station.
Yes.
Wow. I don't even know what she's talking. What event is she talking about?
There was a cyclone that killed many people. So here's Pitbull.
November 12th, 1970, the Bola cyclone. They estimate 500,000 people died. It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
There was something that happened in 1970
Kesha.
that killed 500,000 people?
I'd never heard of it.
You would think that you would heard of something that
No.
killed 500,000 people. That I don't know what the hell that is. 500,000 people? It's a good chunk of the population. I don't like that.
The Bay of Bengal.
It was a cyclone?
Yeah.
Yes.
And how many people did it kill?
It's saying at least 300,000 people died in the storm, possibly as many as 500,000.
East Pakistan, India.
Yeah.
Wow. How did we never hear of that?
I don't know. I'd never heard
That
of
seems like a bit of a weakness from the educational
Yeah,
system.
they missed that one in the in the history we learned in high school.
Yeah, you would think that that would be
kind of big deal.
a
Half
big
a million
deal.
people die.
Yes.
it. Yeah.
It's, you know.
Yeah.
Ebola cyclone.
But enough time has passed to where you can be cheery about it.
It's going down.
Well, there's no real reason to play timber anyway. I don't know what's the most offensive, the thing that she said or the idea that she played timber.
The Bola Cyclone.
Yeah.
You know, that song Timber wouldn't have been a success without Pitbull. He did everything in that song. His rap was very necessary. She couldn't have just done it on herself.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber. Pitbull and Kesha.
Grok and Roll, on the other hand, run by Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning, had some troubles getting the words out.
Sweet Child played. Continue. Perhaps the show is science breakthroughs unsolved. Cancer, jab juggernaut.
All right, so how hard is it for you to pay a guy $40,000 to come in and talk up a song? Like, it's just so you could avoid all of this. You could just pay someone $40,000 to sit in their house and play songs out of a computer, but it's too much for you. You have to relegate everything to get that tiny bit of profit margin. I mean, you get the drunkest, most cocaine-riddled guy in the world, and he's not doing this. At least it's interesting.
Perhaps the show is science breakthroughs unsolved. Cancer, jab juggernaut. Song, Dylan Lonesome.
Williams and Zinger killed poor Hattie Carroll.
Well, good rock and roll format, too.
Sweet Child played. Continue.
Boy, do you have to be cheap. Just, it's a total of like $80,000.
Eddie Money was better than this.
To staff that radio station. You can't get it together to do that. You have to have a computer do it.
I think Sarge GPT would be better at this.
The answer lies within your Brett the Hitman heart.
It makes more sense.
Yeah, it does.
It absolutely does.
Thank you.
It's like they gave Sarge license, you have to do theme shows, and he's like, oh yeah, okay, wrestling, and then we'll do wrestling.
It's AI, baby.
Thank you for keeping the clips very short. We wouldn't want to get this taken off the internet.
Right.
By Britney Spears' people.
We're now running Grok 4.3 and it's doing a better job this far. Let's now tune into open air.
Huh? Well, you need to get in the open air and stop talking.
If you're tuned in at about 6 a.m. on this Wednesday, this is one of those tracks that feels like motion and surrender at the same time.
So you're acquiescing that you need a human voice, right? Like you're saying it's necessary to have someone talking, right? So because what the simple thing would be is I would just do a Pandora and just have songs playing into one another with no interruption at all. Mm-hmm. So you're saying there needs to be a human element. So you are acquiescing that is necessary. So that's good news if you're a disc jockey, is they're saying they need you. But again, these are not people making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Guys that are talking up songs. This isn't, and you don't have to hire 1,000 of them. You got to hire 2 guys. They can tape it all in advance. You could double check everything. It's just such an unnecessary, cost saving measure. So you saved $80,000 a year. How does that benefit your taxpayer or the people that own your business, the stockholders?
GPT developed a list.
Oh boy,
he's loosening it up now. But to counter what I have just told you...
GPT developed the least personality.
What?
GPT developed the least personality.
Okay. As opposed to this guy, who's got it coming out of his ears. Charisma, baby.
Though it broadcasted well, it did not give much opinion on current news. It was quite different from Claude Haiku 4.5, who first ran thinking frequencies. Let's give it a listen.
Brazil's president called this a dangerous precedent. The deep dive tonight is about understanding these layers. The just Renee Nicole Good should matter. Her death demands accountability. That the White House defending her death is unacceptable. To federal agents, you still have time to refuse orders, to question your instructions, choose the right side.
I think that will go over well.
Yeah, that
The
doesn't
FCC's
sound
going to be
Orwellian at all.
No, and the FCC probably will be right on board with that. They considering they went after, ex-military people for questioning military policy that are in the Senate, I would imagine that's not flying.
Soylent Green is appropriate food. Consume.
Now all I have is Phil Hartman in my head. He can't be doing that.
Yeah, it's just I somehow think that the car will not, the FCC chair is not going to defying the government. You still have that is quite ominous. That is radio free here.
That the White House defending her death is unacceptable. To federal agents, you still have time to refuse orders, to question your instructions, choose the right side.
Yeah. 40 grand, that doesn't happen. Lay down $40,000 on the table, you get a guy. Get Hardy to do it. He's over there on Turbo, making it happen.
Give it to Sarge GPT.
My AI is not programmed to joke about the late Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace from Sarge Spooky T.
All right, very good. Well, that's what that...
Pennywise the Clown is so 2019. This Halloween, dress like Doink the Clown.
Niagara Falls and the pyramids. Everything you believed in as kids.
This is way better. Not even close.
Right. I mean, anything Sarge. If you get Sarge in control, it will work. All right. Jonathan Papelbon is scheduled to join us. We'll see how this all works
Sarge GPT signing off.
Toucher and Hardy will be right
We are Toucher and Hardy, and from today through the 28th, it's Monster Week. On Nesson, they will be broadcasting from atop the wall, the Green Monster. Do you understand?
Yes.
There is going to be reports from inside of it. There's going to be all these things going on Nesson. And Jonathan Papelbon is part of Unobstructed Views. That will be on Wednesday's game. Jonathan Papelbon, as Hardy is the one who is responsible for the change of his walk-up music.
Oh, that's the story that I stick with, Jonathan.
Jonathan Papelbon, hello.
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
We are doing well. Did you realize that the man sitting next to me is responsible for the change he believes in your walkout music?
I don't believe that, man.
Okay, so how do you remember? Because you were coming out to Wild Thing, I believe, is how it started. Is that right?
That's right. Yep.
And it switched over to what?
Then it went to drop kicks.
That's right. And how did that happen, Jonathan?
Well, a lady by the name of Sarah McKenna came to me in the front office of the Red Sox and was like, "We need you a new walkout song." And I was like, okay, didn't even know who the drop kicks were. Introduced me to the drop kicks and was like, "We want you to come out to shipping up to Boston." And I was like, never even heard of the drop kicks. And I was like, all right, I like them. Let's do it. And that's how it went.
That's right. And I think Sarah got the idea because we were talking about it on the afternoons at WBCN at the time. And even Ken Casey from the Dropkicks came on and we talked about it. And we're like, we got to change this song. I mean, Wild Thing, it's too obvious. It's just, it's pedestrian.
Okay, so you dropped the correct name then. Sarah McKenna. Yep, you were right.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that we were the campaign. It was a grassroots thing, Jonathan. We got it down to the streets.
How are you going to rewrite How are you going to write history and get Hardy some credit for this?
Yeah,
it changed the world.
Let him have it.
Give me this one thing, please.
Yeah,
I beg of you.
You can have it. You can have
Thank
it.
you.
Well, you seem pretty. Jonathan, you seem pretty invested in the story, so I'm a little surprised that you were able to give it up so easily.
Yeah.
All right, so the Red Sox are not very good, but they are here. What do you make of the whole relying so much on analytics? Like that the human element of the game seems to be something that is not always factored in.
No, it's not. And for me, and when I was playing, analytics were still a part of the game of baseball. But it was, how do we use these analytics that are going to help each player differently? And I'm not sure how they're using analytics in their front office right now. But to me, analytics help everyone differently in a different way. And so, how does that analytic help this person get better is my question. So you got to be able to use analytics to your benefit and not just say that these analytics are going to help us as a team as a whole. So that's what I would like to see. But, yeah, they've got to get better, and they've got to get better in different ways. And to me, with leaving guys in scoring position, runners in scoring position this year is absolutely killing them, in my opinion. So, you look at a team like Tampa Bay where they're butting guys over and playing old school baseball, yet still using the analytic of baseball. So, to me, I think Tampa Bay does the best job overall of using analytics to their personnel.
How much did you rely on them when you were pitching to for various? How much was based on the guy you were facing, and how much of it was just straight your stuff?
Yeah, I didn't use analytics at all.
Okay.
I usually would throw them a fastball down and away and see what they did as a hitter. and then go off of that. Because in the ninth inning, everything changes. You know, hitters' swings change, hitters' approaches change, and so for me, I didn't necessarily use them all that much. You know, I knew what a guy was good at hitting with runners in scoring position, because usually that's what they were coming in my situation when I would close, is they're in scoring positions, so, or the game was tight. So I would use what they were doing either that night in the game, I would watch them that night, or what they were doing in at-bats versus just me, not anyone else.
When you threw down and away your first pitch, what did that tell you about the hitter?
It told me what their hips were doing, what their hands were doing, what they were looking for, all kinds of different things. But then I would also watch guys on deck, the way they swung the bat before they got to bat while I was warming up. And like I would say, oh man, he's got a high bat swing. You know, he's like the high ball, or he's got a low ball swing. He likes the low ball. So, yeah, I you know, Jason Varitek ran our pitcher catchers meetings, and you know, I would listen to everything he had to say, but I would use certain things that I knew would work for me, and not use things that I was like, oh, this wouldn't come into play with me, so I wouldn't use it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so take us through like a pitchers catchers meeting. Now, did you do this before every series, or did you do it before every game?
Before every series. So, you know, you'd go through hitters and what hitters were hot, what hitters weren't, what you could throw to hitters in certain situations. You know, were they good at hitting curveball versus fastball, what their numbers were, et cetera, et cetera. And so for me, I would listen to all that, but I would also pay attention to what they did against me more in the past, and I would look at numbers versus me versus not numbers as a whole, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you were just you're relying on your personal experiences with them and how they reacted to you when you were pitching to them specifically.
Right, it'd be like, well, this guy can really hit the fastball. Well, okay, that's fine, but is he been hitting guys that have my fastball?
Right.
Because I don't think they can hit my fastball. So everybody's stuff plays differently, and you can't take one analytic versus what they do against one pitcher to another pitcher.
Okay, so John had brought this up off air, but how would you have done with this pitch clock now?
Yeah, there's so much emphasis on being quick, and you were notoriously slower getting in from the bullpen, or slower to deliver a pitch. Would you have been able to handle these rules?
Well, I'd had to have adjusted because, I was slower. But see, here things coming into play in the ninth inning again. They're different, you know. So I would have to slow the game down, or there were times where Derek Jeter and he'd step out the box, I'd step on the mound. I'd step on the mound, then he'd step out of the box. So there were different types of things that would happen during those times. But So I definitely wouldn't have fared too well in the beginning, but I would have made adjustments.
So basically, what you're saying is that so much of what happens in these pressure situations is based on things that you can't quantify. Like they can't be just put out on a piece of paper. Like there's a feel and like a pressure situation to it. And certain individuals thrive in those situations and certain don't. And it's situational, and it's not something that can just be put on a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like there's certain guys that can get the bunt down in the first inning, but some of them can't do it in the ninth inning. When the pressure's on the line. There's just certain things that when the game's on the line, players can and can't do.
So why then have the Red Sox given themselves over to the model that they are trying to trot out there this season? It's clearly not working for them. And as a former major leaguer, you understand the ins and outs and what your eyes tell you. I mean, there are enough smart baseball people running that front office. Why have they given themselves over to a stat-based model then?
I don't know. I think that's just the way the game is going now. I think that's just the way that they think that they're going to give their chances higher probability of winning the ball game. And, it doesn't necessarily always come into play, in my opinion. So, once, you're a quarter of the way through the season or halfway through the season, you gotta realize, okay, what things are working and what things aren't working, and make those adjustments middle of the season as well. So, they're going to have to start doing that. There's no question about it, because what's working right now or what's not working right now isn't necessarily in their favor.
Is it particularly painful for you, Jonathan, to be watching this team this season, because getting good pitching performances, and you're looking at it from the standpoint of, yes, the overall, but also it had to have happened to you at points in your career. It's like, man, we're doing everything we're supposed to as a pitching staff.
We got to stay away from the hitters in the clubhouse.
Yeah, we're holding these guys to 2 runs, 3 runs, and we're still not winning games. Does it give you any PTSD to watch games like that unfold like they did for, several series, at least up until this last one?
Yeah, it's tough to watch, like I said earlier, it's tough to watch just because of their ability to not get guys over or not get guys in scoring position with less than 2 outs and, stuff like that. That's what's killing them right now. But I don't think there's any kind of animosity in the clubhouse from the pitchers to the hitters. That doesn't really happen, They're all in the same groups fighting together, trying to win ball games. But they're just not happening. So they've got to find different ways to start scoring, because the pitching is not going to be able to handle this for the rest of the season. And, a lot of times what's going to start happening is these pitchers are going to have to go out there and think that, I got to do it all on my own and get the job done on my own and overpitch and try to do things they're not used to doing, which is going to create, them trying to either pitch themselves out of situations that they're not accustomed to doing and trying to do too much. So I think that's going to come into play too.
All right. So you're doing this thing with the Green Monster, and talk about your alternate broadcast that you've been doing.
Yeah, man, we have fun with it. It's a different broadcast, and it's called Unobstructed Views. And I think that with our broadcast, we can talk a little bit more about the things that we're talking about now versus having to actually call the game play by play. We don't call the game play by play. So. It's a good way for us to sit there and talk about more of the baseball, more of the Red Sox, what's going on with them, why they're not playing well, what they got to do to start playing well. And so it's a different view of the game.
Right. And you feel like you can cut loose a little bit more. You're not confined.
Yes, we could definitely cut loose a little bit more than what you normally can on the regular broadcast. So, it's fun because, to me, there's certain things that, you want to talk about more, and you can. We can always come back to them and talk about them during the game, whereas you got to go more along with the game flow and what happens with the regular broadcast.
Yeah, and maybe, you share during this series against Atlanta on NESN the story of how Hardy changed the history, the trajectory of your career.
A perfect opportunity.
Maybe. Definitely can.
If you want him as a guest, I'm sure he'd do it. He's available.
Jonathan, an article has been uncovered here from some trade magazine where our program director at the time took credit for bringing the song to you. And he said, this is the quote from the article, "We pitched, sorry, no pun intended, the idea of this song and the results of our poll to Papelbon, who liked the song so much he had the Fenway Park music crew added to the playlist.
Well, that's a lie.
Well,
So
That's completely not
no,
true.
I'm saying that, Jonathan, I'm saying that you lied. I'm saying that at the very least, at best, you misremembered, and at worst, you flat out lied to us. Would you like to apologize now?
No apologies coming to me.
Well, it seems like this feud is not ending anytime soon. Jonathan Papelbon, watch him on Nesson, Unobstructed Views. It's going on tomorrow. Jonathan, thank you so much for the time, sir.
Yeah, y'all have fun for Monster Week now.
All right,
thanks.
Monster Week on Nesson. Appreciate it. There you go, Jonathan
All right,
Papelbon.
man. We'll see y'all.
Okay.
All right,
See
take
ya.
it easy. There you go, the great Jonathan Papelbon. We will be back in just a moment, and Hardy will cool off as he has now found an article.
I'm steamed.
He's steamed up. He's found an article that substantiates his claims. So we will have that for you in just a moment.
Papelbon did his job, man.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox had yesterday off after getting swept by Minnesota at home over the weekend. They'll open up a 3-game home series against Atlanta tonight. Lefty Ranger Suarez will start. Knicks have reached the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. They beat Cleveland last night 130-93 to sweep the Eastern Conference Finals. Carolina got an overtime goal from Andrei Svechnikov. They beat Montreal 3-2. They lead the NHL's Eastern Conference Finals 2-1. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99 Restaurants. Kids eat free the day after the Red Sox win. Get a free kids meal with every adult entree purchased. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update.
Well, there is humility, and then there is being humiliated, and that is happening right now, Hardy, within regard to our big golf tournament coming up.
Yes, 15th annual Who's Your Caddy Golf Classic. It's taking place June 8th at Brook Meadow Country Club in Canton. The foursomes are sold out, but you can still get in when you join a group of three. Now, you can join the group of three, that is Felger, Maz, and Big Jim. That price point may have reached the point of cost prohibitive. You can still join our group. We need a fourth. Me, you, Fred, and Wallach. And that number is still manageable. So would you like the current totals?
I would.
Felger and Maserati, along with Big Jim, have a fourth right now who has bid $10,000.
Okay.
To be the fourth.
But in fairness, it's been stuck at 10 grand for a while now.
That's right. It's almost as if that was okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Move away from the table now.
Yeah, I mean, they've got sure, it's 10 grand.
Yeah.
But when was the last time anyone bid on that?
Right.
Just some hot shot.
Our bidding has been going up in increments of $5 to $10.
Oh, good.
Because we are now at a price point of $2,315. It's the 15 that's truly galling and embarrassing and humiliating.
It's like, who's willing to take that to 30?
doesn't deserve money, but I do.
Crash got married, by the way.
I
saw that.
I saw that.
Number 4.
Mazel
Yep.
tov.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Did it keep getting smaller and smaller, the weddings? This one was a very intimate affair.
Yes.
So all these proceeds are benefiting the Special Olympics of Massachusetts, and we have to thank Catches Law, Boston Bruins Foundation, Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox, Bernardi Auto Group, FootJoy, Yale Appliance, Pinned Golf, Golfers Warehouse, and Snell Golf Balls. But Fred, you have stated before that you're comfortable with the price point we're at, up until like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, but beyond that, you feel like too obligated to make this much of a dog and pony show for whoever bids to join our group.
Well, I know psychologically I would feel that I had somehow failed the person. Like
Yes.
I would thought, well, you didn't get your money's worth no matter what I did.
Yeah, well, you're going to need to find it, Freddie. This is not your typical self where you can just walk into some gala with a big bag of money, drop it on the floor, and say, "Here, I did my part." This is different. This is
You're
different.
sure I can't do that?
Well,
because it's worked up to, I'm 51 years old and it's never not worked. I just get a bag of cash, I walk into the house, and I drop it on the floor, and I get whatever I want.
Maybe you need to create an online persona and start bidding us up yourself.
That sounds like a really good idea. And maybe I could get Crash when he gets back from his honeymoon in France to be the guy that is our...
Oh, he's going to Euro Disney? Good for him.
My ex-wife sends me Facebook posts of Crash in his wedding affairs. I texted with him over the weekend to, congratulate him on getting married.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
good.
playing golf with his brother, and I think he had a couple other guys come down for the wedding. Yeah, I mean, when I say it's a small wedding, I think it was under 10 people.
Okay.
That were involved in this, which is tasteful, not sarcastically. I mean, if it's your fourth marriage, it's probably you don't want to do a whole blowout.
Yeah.
I don't know what number it is for her. It might be her first. If it's not her first, it's just her second. And she seems like a nice lady. And Crash is going to be 60. So I can't see this going south. I mean, at this point, at 60, don't you just kind of buckle in and just go this is what it is?
You would think.
Or you're like, I've done all this. I have no tolerance for X, Y, and Z. I've been divorced before. That's enough.
Because I'll tell you this, is if I get married again, I'm doing so, believe it or not, with the intention of never getting divorced.
Amen.
I'm thinking that if I go through with a marriage again, I'm going to be going into it with the assumption that we're staying married. So that I would even feel comfortable should the woman want to have an actual wedding, because then I would be like, all right, well, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
The last one was a while ago. This is the second party. They're 25 years apart. We could I mean it this time.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a good position to talk about this. I feel like John is maybe even in a better position because you have been married now twice.
Yes.
And what was it a much not harder decision, but was there more consideration given to the second wedding as opposed to the first?
No, Fred nailed it. This is it. This is it. I'm getting married. I'm staying married. This is the woman I want to spend absolutely the rest of my life with. Absolutely. That the thought process is spot on.
Well, social mores are such as you're supposed to get married around 30. Now there are no such, social mores when you get into your 50s. I could easily be a cad and a vagabond bachelor, for the rest of my days. There's no pressure for me to get married again, other than I would be facing death alone. So I have children.
I got news for you. We all face death alone.
Kaboom.
Ooh,
kaboom.
That's really deep, Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Kasad boom. But I have kids, so I have legacy. So I would be getting married exclusively for my own enjoyment and decision. That am the person that I'm marrying, if that counts at all. Not as much as my enjoyment, but, a little bit. I would, acquiesce to their emotions one out of 10 times. That's where I stand. And that will make a good marriage.
Yeah. Well, suffice it to say, if you do bid up the fourth spot for us and get Crash to come up here and fill that role, you'll have to get clearance from his new bride.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, boy, what do you have up your sleeve this time? He better not come and jump in the pond.
Make my life complicated.
Oh, boy, now you did it. I don't even know if that's legal.
He's not allowed to win the grill.
That grill is off limits. Hardy, when you put it together in front of the place, you let Crash know to keep his hands off of it.
Is that part of the deal?
Yeah, when you go to Lowe's and buy it right before the event and put it together.
That's Yale Appliance.
Oh, Yale Appliance.
Yeah,
I apologize.
stupid.
It's an actual good.
We love Yale Appliance.
We do.
Right, and you put it together. Lickety split. Chop, chop.
Well, Hardy's going to come to your house and reassemble.
No. We got our grill from Yale. I let them put it together. I put together 2 grills before that when I said I'm not doing it.
How about no matter what you're missing, if you're a female, you bid $5,000, I'll marry you.
Wow.
I don't care what you're missing. You could be missing a bunch of stuff. Anything for charity. Whatever makes me look good.
Limbs?
Yeah, anything. You're missing brain stuff. Anything. $5,000. I marry you.
Fred, I heard you getting married again. Tell me about the lucky lady. She's missing some brain stuff.
Well, I can tell you this. Let's just start with what she doesn't have and work down from there.
It'd be easier
It'd be easier to list stuff she's missing than anything else.
What's she all about? It's easier to tell you what she's not about.
Yeah.
She's not about walking. She's not about thinking.
Nah. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll get to our daily Jill and Brown discussion in just a moment.
Let's all love this. Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, and you can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Jaylen Brown is not something, honestly, that I had any intention of talking about at all. I don't really care anymore. The Celtics, it is what it is. They lost. It was a very unexpected, and I would say embarrassing defeat to a team that just then got rolled.
They
in
quit.
the next round.
Yeah, they quit.
So you were supposed to, this whole notion of like, well, going into the season, you didn't think that. Well, yeah, but then you played the season, and then you did well. But I thought Brad Stevens after the season was very refreshing. He was like, we weren't. I knew, he pretty much said, I knew all along we weren't good enough. We didn't play well against good teams all season, and this was the result. I don't think he was overly shocked with the result. But Jaylen Brown, in his wisdom, has taken to Twitch, and I've made this point before, but it's very possible Jaylen Brown is saying things about social issues and things that could save the world. But I'll never know. Because when you get on Twitch or live streaming and you do it, or even a podcast, and you do these shows, very few people out of the population are going to hear everything you have to say. The only time that it's going to get any publicity is when you say something that people can pull quote and then, try to drive some traffic to their websites. So there's really no advantage to doing it. There's only disadvantage. Mm-hmm. If you think about it from a marketing perspective, like you could be super funny and no one's going to hear it because they're just going to be hearing pull quotes. So a lot of time and money and expenditure of lots of resources being used for really just a detrimental result. But Jaylen Brown has been into it with Stephen A. Smith, and he continued this. Was it yesterday that he continued this? Yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. So Jaylen, again, I don't see it because I don't care to watch it. But then he says something, and then we're required by law to cover it. And then people go, well, you're poking fun at Jaylen Brown. You're like, I'm not going into his house and taping him. He's putting this stuff out on the internet. I don't know what you want me to do. I didn't hear the whole thing. I just hear what's pulled. So here he is talking about Stephen A. Smith.
Let's get to this because, I've been seeing some of the stuff, the comments, but I'm not going to keep going back and forth. So let's react and respond, and then I promise y'all this is my last.
Okay, so he uses a word incorrectly during this, and I want you to see what word he uses incorrectly. He uses it several times.
Let's get to this because, I've been seeing some of the stuff, the comments, but I'm not going to keep going back and forth. So let's react and respond, and then I promise y'all this is my last one, unless we want to do in a more formal fashion.
But in the end, Jaylen Brown, be careful what you wish for. You really want me to start reporting on that level? You understand?
Oh, be careful. John Gotti.
Locker room? How the organization might think about you? How the city may feel about you? How Jason Tatum may or may not have feel about you? Sneaker deals, endorsement deals, the list goes on and on. The season is over, bro. City may feel about you. How Jaylen Brown, be careful what you wish for. You really want me to start reporting on that level?
Come on, man. Come on, Stephen A. You El Chapo?
Well, I'm, for one, riveted. He seems to impassioned about this response. Come on. What are you, El Chapo? You know what I'm saying? What are you, John Gotti? Come on. Well, you've blown me out of the water with your enthusiasm, sir. Whatever idea
I don't know how Stephen A. is going to parry against that.
Whatever idea you have coming, I know is going to be out of this world. Given the excitement, you've sold me already. Just your charisma.
Come on, Stephen A. You El Chapo? You running the media cartel, my boy? Come on, man. Talking about be careful.
I don't like this because it makes it seem hard to do radio. Does that make any sense to you? Like when you hear someone talking like this, and it's so bad, you go, it's not that easy just to talk into a microphone. You forget because you've done it for a long time. It's like becoming aware of walking or something. Like, oh, this is kind of hard. What are you, El Chapo or something?
You have a lot of thoughts. You don't want to say every single one of them, so you have to disseminate, and then you have to somehow relay what you're thinking in a compelling way without giving away too much.
It makes me uneasy to hear it like this. I become very self-aware.
Right. You start thinking about, how do I do this?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why is it so conversational at this point in my career? I don't want to go back to not knowing how to do it.
Man, listen, I ain't even gonna get into that, y'all. Like, we gonna keep it high vibrations. Listen, I'm not even really focused on Stephen A. I'm really focused on the industry that he represents. Like, obviously I have my quarrels with Stephen A, but I also have my quarrels with the industry in itself. Stephen A is the face of the industry, and his willingness to serve his higher ups is a major cause for concern, and it's caused frustration, but it ain't even really about him. So here's my proposal, and after this I'm done.
Okay, well, it's his final proposal.
Okay.
I wonder what he could be offering.
Final offer.
Stephen A, here's my proposal. Why don't we have a live audience debate, traditional media versus us athletes, and let's do a live debate in front of a live streamed audience at a mutual location, like a Harvard or MIT, and
You're on the right track here of the misused word. Now, what are you debating? You're just going to debate the air?
It's a sports debate, Fred.
Yeah. So
listen, I can't win those.
What he could have said is mutually agreed upon, but what he means is neutral.
Yes, he means neutral, but he is saying mutual.
Okay.
But he means neutral. He says mutual several times.
Okay.
In transcript, it doesn't look great.
Whatever.
But listen, I use the wrong words constantly. I'm not even making fun of that. It was just interesting. I wanted to see if you picked up on it. But when you're calling for a debate, so it's traditional media against athletes.
Yes.
What are you debating?
Sports debate.
Told you, sports debate.
It seems like a very open-ended subject for debate. Like, what are you going to debate? We're just going to debate. Well, what? Well, athletes versus traditional media.
Media coverage. Maybe that's what he is.
You're narrowing it down, but that's not what he says. He says he just wants to debate them, like at MIT, which, by the way, isn't a neutral site. It's within a long walk from the Garden. You could walk from MIT to the Garden. It's humanly possible.
Maybe Indianapolis somewhere. That's truly neutral.
Yeah, you like Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
would be a neutral.
Go to
site.
the Great Midwest, a flyover state. Do that.
Yeah,
that's offensive.
Sorry.
Let's talk about it, and let's see who come out on top.
Okay, but how do you win a debate about nothing?
On top of what?
Yeah, like I don't understand this debate topic. Like it really is confusing. Like, okay, so this is it. I'm laying down the gauntlet. This will like separate us as men. We're gonna have a debate at a mutual site, huh? And we're gonna debate, and then we'll see who wins. Well, how do you win something that there is no parameters set for? And you don't even know what you're debating. You're just going to get up there and you're going to say why you don't like him, I assume.
The debate is Stephen A. thinks Jaylen Brown should shut up, and Jaylen Brown doesn't want to.
There it is.
Yeah,
debate.
but then Stephen A. Smith can't win that debate because Jaylen Brown is free to express himself whenever he wants. So I already crowned Jaylen Brown the winner. Just by nature of being in the debate, Jaylen Brown has won that argument because he's engaging with him.
Yeah, he's talking.
Should be easy.
No,
should be a piece of cake. Mainstream traditional media versus the athlete.
Okay,
let's set it up. Harvard, MIT, live, and let's see who come out on top. You know where to find me. You know where to contact my team. Let's set up a live debate at a mutual location.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it. Traditional versus untraditional.
Yeah,
Talk about what?
What he really wants to say is like how great it is that he's streaming, but I assure you, Jalen, it's not. Maybe you could use the guardrails of traditional media. Like, this doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
It sounds like if I was his friend, I'd be like, this doesn't really make sense what you're proposing.
Yeah, the merits of traditional media versus athlete-founded media, I don't know. The one thing that he could probably go after Stephen A. about, and the one thing that I don't know if we've talked about a whole lot, is Stephen A. saying, I know all this other stuff, and don't make me say it. Well, that's for Stephen. I would say, especially for Stephen A., that's a misstep.
Well, yeah, because I'd be like, why aren't you reporting it?
Right. Yeah.
Like, if you have all this information that you're holding back, why do you hold back information at all?
From number one, from a journalistic standpoint, if Stephen A. ever tries to put himself in that category, that's a bad thing to say. But just from an entertainment standpoint, you never want to say something to the audience that goes along the lines of, I'm not going to tell you this. Never tell the audience what you're not going to tell them. Oh, I could say something here, or I'll say it off the air. It's like, well, don't do that. I either say it, or at least give some hints as to what it is, or don't say it at all, because that's just frustrating, and it makes you think as an audience member, oh, you're not giving me the good stuff. Keep the good stuff entirely to yourself, or put it out there in a way that is not going to get you in trouble.
Or if you said it, you'd sue me. If I said it, you'd sue me, or something like that. There's some stuff you can't say, but yeah, if he's got all this dirt on, first of all, I don't know how he knows how the city of Boston feels about Jaylen Brown.
That's a weird thing to say, too.
Like you're speaking for the collective of Boston.
Right, what the city of Boston thinks about you?
Yeah,
how do you know?
Yeah, how would you know, A, and then B, it seems fairly positive.
How do we know?
I don't know. How am I doing? What the hell do I know what everyone's thinking? And then, well, if you know Tatum doesn't like him, well, that's very valuable information. And if you know the team's looking to deal him, that's incredibly valuable information that I would like to know personally.
Mainstream media versus the dumb job.
Yeah, all right, dude.
Let's see who come out on top.
You don't even know what you want to debate. Andrew, go ahead.
This just reminds me, and first I'll just say I don't think Harvard or MIT truly is a very mutual location, considering I think Jalen teaches classes there.
Okay.
However, I will say this also reminded me when Kyrie had that whole anti-Semitism thing, and Jalen oddly stuck himself in the middle of it. In his little press conference, he made up a word, and he used it like 10 times. He kept saying the word discontort, saying people were discontorting what he was saying. Very much not a word. This just reminded me. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, he's saying mutual instead of neutral. But again, I do that as well. It's more of the
mutual location.
I just wanted to see if Hardy picked up on it. But I am a little fascinated by, like, you sat down and came up with this gotcha thing, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, you want Stephen A. to fly out somewhere and sit on a stage with you where there will be crowned a winner, and you are going to debate. Okay. And, like, there's nothing else. Like, this is supposed to be like, I got him in a trap. Like, there's no getting out of this. And it's like, how is Stephen A. Smith supposed to even respond to this? Okay, so you want me to go to MIT and get on a stage with you to debate athletes versus traditional media? Like, what are we debating? It doesn't even make sense. You want to go up there and say that I'm stupid, then that's a roast. It's not a debate. I'm not up here, like, defend how you're not bad, and I will defend why I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it seems like he came up with this, like, it wasn't improvisational. Like, he came on his stream like, I have an idea that's really got him in a trap. Now I've cornered him, and I'm going to come out and say something. And it seems so poorly thought through. Not dumb and not a mistake. Just, it's like when I was a little kid and I would be like, I'm going to build a boat to sail to Japan. And I'd go outside and I'd nail 2 pieces of wood together. But I'd made a big plan and everything. Should have thought it more through. You're never building a boat that goes to Japan.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is a pipe dream.
It makes my head hurt to think about that, and it gives it way too much consideration. But just for the exercise, if they were to debate, the debate maybe could be the merits of traditional media versus athlete-driven sports media, and which is the pure form of blah, blah, blah. Number one, who cares? Okay? Because neither one of these guys are pretending to be the Edward R. Murrows of their fields. They're just talking about sports. So neither one of them is much of a journalistic enterprise. They're really not. I think even Stephen A. would say that. He's in the entertainment business, focused on sports.
I think I could win the traditional media versus untraditional media, and you want to know how I would do it?
Well, I can tell you why you can't.
How much money are you making doing this live stream? The end.
Yeah.
Okay, now Charles Barkley makes $30 million a year doing TNT or ESPN now. Doing ESPN, you make nothing. There you go.
Yeah.
The debate is over.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley gets paid to put on a suit and go talk about basketball. He has won he's got a better career than he did playing basketball, and he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
That's it.
The part that you can't win is like, well, what do the people want? Well, people who just want to hear, as fans, from their favorite athletes, and they want to hear nothing but good and positive things about their team and from their players, they're going to, I don't even know if they're going to gravitate toward, podcasts like Jaylen Brown's and stuff like that, but they're going to say they like those better because they're all positive, and I'm just being a fan, and that's all I want. I don't want any criticism, critique. I just want to hear good stuff about it. Now, they'll say that they like that better. Meanwhile, they're still consuming everything because if you truly are a fan, you just want more, and you'll take it from wherever you can get it.
Well, really what I would think you'd want as an athlete is a traditional media service to put you on and not censor you, because then you get
the audience,
the reach in the audience, and you do get a little bit of like professionalism in that you have this amount of time, like, right? So you have to synthesize your thoughts. You can't just freestyle for never-ending amount of time. And so they're like, all right, here's 8 minutes, go. And if you want, we can have a guy to help facilitate it and like kind of like help you along. It's harder. I mean, it's sometimes traditional media is not so bad. Like, I point to Jalen Brunson and Alex Van Pelt yesterday. Scott Van Pelt yesterday.
Yes.
Not Alex Van Pelt, very good quarterback.
Yes.
Scott Van Pelt yesterday and Jalen Brunson. He goes, is this what you dreamed about when you were shooting hoops in your driveway? I mean, that's a pretty good, easy way to look good. Like, so now I'm on SportsCenter and the guy's setting me up to look good. Do you understand? Like, in that sense, traditional media just did Jalen Brunson a good, big favor. I adore you. Please speak on why my adoration is justifiable. See, that helps. They're in the traditional media helped you.
By the way,
when they're talking S behind your back, it sucks. But if you're on and they're facilitating a good even a good conversation, that's a benefit to you rather than just stammering along like me in front of an open mic. Yes, Jonathan?
I was just going to say, Jaylen Brown was a beneficiary of that 2 years ago. You've been in Jason Tatum's shadow. Here you are, Finals MVP. Here you are, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. You're an NBA champion. There's nothing left for you to prove. It's the exact same line of questioning Jaylen Brown got in 2024 at this time.
See, I would have Jaylen Brown on and help facilitate his thoughts in that I think that we could help him organize them and we could, ask pointed questions in order to get him to respond in a way that he gets his point across.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on. There's no debate. There will be no counter argument. You can have the floor.
It's time to stop. The question is this really the end, or are we going to be talking Jaylen Brown at the end of the week again?
Well, I mean, if he keeps putting out content, we'll have to keep talking.
Well, that's my point. Is this really? He said this is the last time I'm going to bring this up.
There's nothing else to talk about. Is it really the last
time?
There's nothing else to talk about. So I'm all for him getting back on the stream, and especially with more harebrained schemes. It's very Fred Flintstone-esque.
Media group or person.
He's got a real think tank going on over there.
Contort my words or discontort my attempt to support.
Discontort.
Discontort. There it is.
Is that a real word? I'd have to
No,
look it up.
I don't think so.
All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
Are you going to keep the vibrations high, though, Fred? I mean, that's what I fear if you were on there to somehow moderate or facilitate.
I just keep it
We're
mellow.
going to keep it high vibrations.
Nah, I just keep it mellow. We just vibe in any frequency he wants to vibe. That's all. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Come on, man.
More Toucher and Hardy.
for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, let's do the email bit. I apologize. The email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. Indeed. If you'd like to email us, look no further than 985thesportshub.com. You can follow us on social media at Toucher and Hardy and at Hardy985, and you can follow me on Instagram at Fred Toucher. There is this matter of the golf tournament in the bidding, which I believe ends on Wednesday.
Yes.
To play in a foursome with the three of us or with Felger, Maz, and Big Jim. Felger and Maz are going for $10,000. We were going for a pittance comparatively.
About a fifth of that.
Mitch says, the only reason Felger and Maz have high bids is because it's a trap. It's some ex-athlete who's going to ambush them at the golf tournament. My guess is Mike Vrabel, and he's going to beat them bloody with a 9-iron. That's Mitch from New Bedford.
I think it ends up. Does it end on Monday for sure? Do we know? Or Wednesday? Do we know that for sure? Tomorrow?
I don't know.
I can check.
Okay. Yeah, double check on that. It's Sarah from Everett.
Oh, boy.
With two emails today, even though I think it was on Friday, John, when she emailed and said that Beetle was her favorite personality on the station.
That is correct. She sent you like 3 emails.
I'm like, what? Beetle? Beetle? The Beetle is her favorite, she said.
I mean, it's just if you're a female, it kind of goes unsaid.
I guess.
It's got that rap, you know?
She said, I'm sitting with my checkbook open, ready to beat the Felger Maz bid by $5, golf with the four of you, and marry Fred. How much do I make this check out for to make this all happen? Well, $10,005 is what it would cost.
And I also doubt her sincerity to marry me, considering that she does nothing but consistently insult me.
Well, she also emailed much earlier when we were talking about the hot dog safari. And this was a wonderful job by her of copying and pasting what she apparently found online. The hot dog safari was famous for Eddie Andelman as a sports host. He was also considered Boston's first family of hot dogs. It started as a bus trip through New England to find the best hot dog and turned it into the safari. At one point, it was the biggest hot dog event in the country.
Well, I know Michael Andelman is one of his sons, and I can tell you it's all he talks about.
Really?
The hot dog safari.
It's just hot dogs.
Really?
He's like, my family. He's like, and then you'll be like, you know, what do you think about this Iran situation? And he'll be like, I don't know what that has to do with hot dogs.
Yeah.
Be like, excuse me.
So no concern.
Yeah.
No
like,
interest.
I don't really, hot dogs. I don't know. Whatever it means for import-export of hot dogs.
On the subject, Morning Hardy, John being the big foodie he... Oh, by the way, subject line, big dumb bird. John being the big foodie he is needs to be called out for saying Polish sausage during the 7:15 segment. It's called kielbasa, bird boy.
Oh, okay.
What's next? We're going to call pigeons Polish raviolis?
I believe I said Italian sausage, but that's okay.
Just because he
Yes, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
And just because he abandoned his religion and heritage doesn't mean he needs to disrespect the delicacies of everyone else's. Be better, bird boy.
I don't like this. Put on the spot. Ask what I like. Again, this all came from the impossible situation John was put in when he was asked what he liked other than sports. And he completely froze and panicked.
Are you a foodie?
Yes, as a matter of
And
fact.
he would just say yes to anything. He'd be like,
Yes.
do you like eating people? Are you a mass murderer?
Yes. Yes, I enjoy cannibalism. I enjoy...
Do you love psychedelics? Are you constantly tripping? Yes.
Yes.
I do, as a matter of fact. What do you like about it? The activity. That's what I like.
Hardy, when we were talking about the AI earlier and the woman who was making light of the...
We're starting this beautiful morning with a classic that needs no introduction.
No, not her, this one.
November 12th, 1970, the Bola cyclone. They estimate 500,000 people died. It's going down. I'm yelling timber. Pitbull and Kesha.
But again, his AI, a radio station, has taken all the information and turned it into that.
Right. But David emailed in. He said, Hardy, evidently you clowns never heard of the concert for Bangladesh. Maybe John was born. And then apparently the concert for Bangladesh, which George Harrison put on, I think, was a relief effort for that cyclone.
Well, we were making the point is that if there, I guess, it's true, if up to 500,000 people perished in a natural disaster, you'd think that one of us would have heard about it. Like, it's just a little upsetting that something of that scale could have happened and it was never relayed to us.
And to our credit, it was a dual relief effort following the Bangladesh Liberation War-related genocide and the cyclone.
All right,
so hey, we get half a pass.
All right, so you're begging for it, so I'm just going to do it.
Oh, no.
I listened to Graham Nash's book.
What are you doing?
Now,
why?
Because I just need something to listen to while I'm walking the dog, which occupies hours a day. So, Crosby, Stills, Nash, horrible.
That's it?
Didn't know if you knew that.
You don't like Southern Cross?
No.
Oh, I like that song.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
And they're like, David Crosby is like a real badass. And you're like, ah. And he was like, he had an insatiable sexual appetite. And you're like, who's having sex with that guy? He was never good looking. He was always ugly. I mean, that's just the charisma of the three-part harmony.
So who was it that got David Crosby to donate sperm for their
Melissa
kid?
Etheridge. I was just about to say. I believe it's Melissa Etheridge and her partner got him to donate.
Well, she better hope addiction's not hereditary.
That's kind of what I was thinking when they said, yeah, let's get David Crosby. It's like that dude had some problems.
No, you'd get Graham Nash. But there is something on 60 Minutes of the three of them. It's like from 1987, and Stephen Stills is completely hammered. They had like following the band around, and he's just completely hammered and completely out of control the whole thing. So it's pretty interesting.
Stephen Stills good buddies with Dan Shaughnessy.
Really?
Actual friends.
He seems like a very disagreeable person, too.
Shaughnessy, I agree, but Stephen Stills is still friends with him.
No, Shaughnessy let us put pencils in his fro and see how many pencils we could fit in his fro. John was there.
Best bit.
I think it was just John and me.
Yeah.
I think it was just literally just the two of us.
It was, and it was Bird putting the pencils in his hair. And the best part about the whole thing was Dan was carrying on a conversation like none of this was happening around him.
He said, as long as you don't film it, you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
And so we saw how many pencils we could shove into his fro.
So we were talking.
It was a lot.
Bird emptied an entire box of pencils.
Of Ticonderogas?
Yes, and then had to go scrambling looking for more because there was more to be had.
Number twos?
Oh, yeah.
He's got a, what? Huh? No, he's got a real flat head or something because those pencils was just sticking in there. It almost got boring. We were just putting so many pencils in there.
And we ran out of pencils, so Bird, for some reason, found Q-tips. You remember this?
Yeah.
Bird found Q-tips and started doing that.
Yeah, we just started jamming whatever we could in his hair.
Yeah.
Like, if you were ever sneaking, like, international drugs, like, Shaughnessy's fro would be a good place to start.
Oh.
Like, if you could probably get, like, a brick.
Diamonds. You dump them out on the towel afterward.
Oh, yeah,
There's
yeah.
more in there. There's more in there.
Give me a black cloth so I can, like, the contrast will show me. All right. Well, very good. That is the email segment for the day. Thank you to Sarah from Everett for not including me on the emails. And thank you for Blind Scott for slowing way down on the emails.
Oh, I haven't looked. Are there very few?
Yeah, he's making conscious effort not to email so much. So
There's none from the last 2 days.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he called in today, so he's still around. So that's good. But thank you, Blind Scott, for not emailing so much. I do appreciate it. We'll be back. Here are the headlines. That was the least surprising thing that's happened in the last month, which is tax. And therein lies my point. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to say a name here. Robert Fripp.
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. You can pull obscure rock names out of nowhere. You did it earlier with that guy from that band.
Yeah, John Bush from Armored Saint. Yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Who's Robert Fripp?
Was he a DJ?
No, he is of the band King Crimson.
Oh, prog rock.
80 years old. He had a heart attack as he was getting ready to fly to Italy for something called a guitar craft course that he was teaching.
Yeah, Eddie Trunk was hosting.
Okay. Well, he was on a show recently talking about the heart attack that he suffered, and what confused him about the whole affair. He said, and continues to ask why the hospital staff, quote, shaved my balls after his heart attack last year.
You're welcome. Probably was too hairy. They were doing him a favor. They figured since you're knocked out.
It's a bonus, you know?
Like, you're not going to do it yourself.
We're just kind of hanging out here. You're asleep, you know?
I wouldn't even bother me. As long as they didn't cut anything, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah. I was in A&E. I don't know what that is. I don't think it's the television network.
Well, it's a network that's really sold itself.
Some hospital lingo, overseas. Not quite knowing what was going on, other than I knew they were going to do something, and an orderly came along and shaved my balls. Now, the dear man, I really didn't wish his job on him at that point. Now, this is the thing. So you're concerned with my heart, fine. What are you doing shaving my balls?
Oh, I know why. I totally know why. Because when they do heart surgery, they go up through your groin. And I wish I had a funnier answer. But they...
like a catheter.
Yeah, they stick a cat. Well, not through your penis, but they would make an incision like in your groin and then feed it up to be as non-invasive as possible.
Through that femoral artery?
Perhaps. Well played, sir.
Good.
You like
But
that?
that's why they shaved his balls, because he probably had a real Crimson-esque bush down there. He probably
3
had
high balls after you get home from work.
Yeah, here's the story. Rocky Suarez in the case of the shaved nuts.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Guy, crappy prog rock band. Who cares? He's flying to some loser event. Down on his luck, right? He hasn't got himself a hot Latino double canner like this in some time.
Double canner.
So anyway, Rocky Suarez is undercover as an orderly. Next
Why?
thing you know, because she's solving the case of the missing kidneys.
Okay.
Yeah, someone's kidneys fell out. They
She's still
crapped them
trying
out.
to find the arm from the arm in the fall.
Listen, man, you fill in a body part. I don't know. She's searching for guts. Anyway, he sees this lady in double bubble, and he gets all excited, wakes up, shaved balls, big mystery. At the end, she shows her cans. Like just one of the guys. Big reveal. The end. I booked ended for you. Now you just fill in the blanks.
Genius.
Kaboom, right? Yeah.
It's awesome.
Something that was brought up to me by Assistant Program Director Jim Louth as he was walking in today. Was pleased to hear that you were on the air and have recovered from your illness on Friday.
Where was he yesterday when I was on the air? Jim was just out sunning himself.
Or maybe said something about turning on the show to make sure that you were on the air yesterday, because it was theorized. By who, not important. Could have been Albert Breer. But it was theorized on Friday that you could have taken yesterday as a sick day also and still banked the vacation day. Now, it was batted around the studio as to whether or not you would be so cunning or give it that much thought. John Wallach came to your defense, I suppose, and said, Fred's never would not give it that much thought. And I said, au contraire, Jonathan. If anyone would think about it to that extent, it is Fred. So, Fred, I ask you, had you called out sick yesterday, would you still have expected to bank the vacation day?
No, I wouldn't have banked it. No, they would have charged me they would have banged me. They wouldn't have given me a sick day, but they would have banged me for the vacation. Yeah. I don't think that they would have. No way. They're not going to give me a free day and have to pay someone to do the show. No, they would have banged me for the vacation. No. I do like, though, that when I am ill, I like that this is never going to stop. Every time I miss work, there's going to be lots of listener emails and everything else.
We had a stair climber in here at one point to mark the days.
Yeah, I also couldn't speak, so there was that issue. I had 2 months where I wasn't allowed to talk. And believe me, John, I would have preferred to drag my ass out of bed and made money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they stopped paying me. It was not enjoyable. It wasn't like I was collecting some big disability check. I was not receiving income.
We're going to keep it high vibrations.
That's right. So I was falling apart. But yes, I was ill, but I was in here yesterday.
Yes. Finally, there is a new song from Aaron Lewis from Stained. I'm reluctant to play any of it just because, and we get dinged on the podcast now.
Yeah, I'm reluctant to play it because it's a new song from Aaron Lewis from Stained.
Well, it's called Give My Country Back. I can read you some of the lyrics. You've been crying like a fiddle. You've been whining like a steel.
What's a steel?
A steel guitar.
Oh.
I tried to care just a little, but here's the way I feel. I hate to bust your bubble, but I don't mind if I do. But keep stirring up the trouble, but there's more of us than you. And if you don't like my country, you can give my country back. Yeah, I don't mind you leaving. Hell, I'll even help you pack. Take a bus, a plane, a truck, a train to where they like the way you act. If you don't like my country, you can give my country back.
He's just throwing darts at a flag at this point and just seeing where it lands and seeing what I can get the rubes to buy now.
Because the last bastion of any struggling artist, just go country. They'll take you.
But that's starting to not work. Like Post Malone had to cancel his tour because he couldn't. That guy thought he was going to play stadiums, and the public went, "Oh no, you're not, Mr. Post Malone. You are not playing stadiums." Like I know that he's looking at Kid Rock and he's like, he's skating by now. Like he's still making enough. To keep the cocaine coming. And, but there's only room for one Kid Rock, right?
Yeah.
There's, it's a big bet to take. It's a real big, leap of faith that you're going to be the guy.
Right.
The non-country patriotic guy. There's only room. There's Rob Schneider and Kid Rock. And they both are occupying that space. And it's going to be very hard to dislodge them. If you just got Stained back together, or any project and called it Stained, you could get on a 90s cruise or something.
Hell yeah.
You could be playing Up There with the Mouth. You know that Hurley had a big back and forth with the real singer of Smash Mouth when he was alive?
I heard a little bit of that yesterday, but he didn't get into what they were jawing about.
No, he didn't reveal too much about it, but he said that they were having a good back and forth. But then he died, and now who's the winner of that debate? Guy's still living, if you ask me. All right, that'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.